If love and gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not right.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you. They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Some taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's like Florida. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. This one time for the tweet. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
Hello, Tobin.
Oh, that's a lovely Michigan shirt you got on there today.
Yeah.
Did you get that in your travels, or did that get sent in a care package? What did you?
No, I had it. I had it.
Right.
I brought it up there to wear, but it was cold.
Yeah, it'll do that up there. It'd be nice if we get a little bit of that. Just a little breeze down here. We get
In September, dude. No,
just a little something. A little cold front. How about a chill front? Like a little something.
Here's the problem. If any front comes through this time of year, it's rain and tornadic activity because it ain't ready yet.
Part of me just wanted to do the show yesterday at Panthers Media to just do it in the ice. Like let's just have it there. Go full penguin on everybody. That's how it should have been. That is how it should have been. Dan Day, good morning to you, sir, and thank you for pinch hitting very late. Because not that you were very late. I'm saying thank you for being noticed because
I've been here since 5 a.m. I'm not late.
What were you doing? What are you running a radio show for somebody? What was going on over there?
Former New England Patriots Super Bowl champ Jermaine Wiggins.
Oh,
Wiggy.
Dude, I thought I recognized him. Like, design something, bruh. That's who that is, Leroy. Wow, what's he doing down here?
He's doing a show he actually has because he played for both the Jets and the Patriots. He's doing some type of private event at Hard Rock Casino tonight for the game.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he'll be back at it tomorrow, and then he's back up north. He says he loves it down here. He'd love to move here. I said, well, you ain't the first person from the Northeast that wants to move down here and work here. Come on, everybody, come on.
Come on down, Wiggy, so my drive can be even longer because we're just running out of routes. Everybody's backed up. Everybody is trying to get here. It's a beautiful thing, but no, I am. We are big fans of Grief listening his show.
They're great. They're cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd like the reason for tuning into that show, but I do. He is entertaining. He is funny.
Dan, so I took the guys to Shuck and Dive.
Oh,
you got me a little etouffee.
No. We didn't do that. We just got mostly appetizers. We got some oysters Bienville, some oysters Rockefeller, some wings. We got some crawfish mac and cheese. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I go for an etouffee, maybe some boudin.
Yeah.
I can eat like 6 rings of boudin if you give me a chance.
Here's the only thing I hate with that. I like my sausage that I can put it on the grill and cook the outside crispy. Boudin, you don't really cook like that. You almost cook it and then take it out of the casing.
Because it'll start popping if you cook it too hot. And then you got a mess.
So now I've never been a big fan of boudin. Now, if it's in a dish, then they take it out. And that's totally different. So yeah.
Well, it was delicious. And a great place. I really enjoyed it. And it was. They have to be fired up because I was like, is this a Saints bar too? And
yeah, baby.
They're watching the Saints throw up a lot of points on people right now.
I mean, they threw up a lot of points.
Did not see that coming.
That's got to be the most. What is that? 80? They did like 85 points or 85, 90 points in 2 weeks.
The last team to do that, right?
The Vikings?
Nope.
No.
The Saints back when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Oh, Dan would know that.
Dan is feeling froggy. He is peacocking.
No, I'm not.
Hey, wait. Tobin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how a Saints fan operates.
Yep.
We know.
A Saints fan is very similar to a Dolphins fan in that the Saints could go 5-0, scoring 40 points a week, and the Saints fan is just waiting for the bottom to fall out.
Don't you dare buy those playoff tickets.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now, and I'm like, all right, let's see week 3. Who they got? Oh, they're hosting the Eagles, who are just coming off of this catastrophic loss coming into their Superdome. Wow.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And New Orleans is only a 2.5-point favorite.
Hey, think about this. We are ready. We are ready to get 50 points scored against us at any time, right? Even my dad called me. He said, "Can you believe this?" He said, "Don't worry. I ain't getting my hopes up. It's only week 2."
I mean, Alvin Kamara's been good for a long time, dude.
He's been good for a long time.
Little Kubiak, little genius.
Can I just tell you about Alvin Kamara? He had one of those lingering injuries that he played with.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody said, "Oh, well, he's done. He's on the back end of his career." And then he got healthy. As simple as it happens to a lot of people in sports. And we tend to not. The thing that I hate about sports the most is you don't get credit for sucking it up and giving what you have. But you will get criticized if you don't try.
That's fair. We got Thursday Night Football tonight, by the way. We got a little Patriots Jets. I just root for awful,
Oh, no, really. I think, well, neither team can score touchdowns. Yeah, it's going to I'm kind of sensing that.
You think they're going to have that turf extra good for Aaron Rodgers tonight? His first game back at the death trap.
I don't know what it is about that field. Like, man, I'm trying to think. We had a field like that when we played. It was the old vet in Philadelphia.
Just concrete.
Guys used to just get tore up. I remember running the ball one time, and a guy on defense tore both his ACLs on both legs.
Like, yeah, we have a field made out of concrete, but we do have a window into the cheerleaders' locker room.
Yeah. It was a peephole. A peephole.
All right. The injury report is out for the Dolphins for yesterday. No Teron Armstead or Calais Campbell. They were both. Don't bring up arguments right now. Let me do the injury report. You grow up. And you just got that today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Teron Armstead, shoulder, did not practice. Calais Campbell doesn't need to practice. He didn't practice.
Old. They just put old on there.
Old. It just says rest. I think it's a little more respectable than the Greg Popovich where he put old. The guys who were limited yesterday, Grant DeBoe's shoulder, it must have been from Tua hitting that dart right on his shoulder, and he just gave up an interception. So he was limited in practice yesterday. Rob Jones, the left guard, he had a shoulder. He was limited. Mostert, he was limited. He was, of course, missed last game with a chest injury. Jalen Phillips is on the injury report still with his Achilles. He was limited. This was nice, though. Malik Washington, Leroy, back practicing yesterday.
Well, I'm just like, you know what I'm going to say. Malik Washington comes back.
Hmm?
There might be some moves.
Old cover boy?
Might be some moves.
They did get rid of Robbie Chosen, though, so I think he's
Robbie Chosen got rid of Robbie Chosen.
Fair point. Old Slips McGee.
Like the crazy thing about this is life in general. Sometimes you may only get one opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take advantage of it, and if you're on the football field and you get that one opportunity and you don't make a play, right? They're just going to look elsewhere.
And finally, Liam Eichenberg, he is on the injury report with a shoulder injury, but he was a full participant in practice.
You know why all these offensive linemen got shoulder injuries?
Mm.
Grabbing. Not blocking, grabbing.
And
all this tore up because they grabbing.
Incredibly, the Seahawks injury report is even longer than the Dolphins. No Kenneth Walker, their star running back. He is out with an oblique. He missed last week. We'll see. There was some optimism that he was going to make his way back. DK Metcalf did not practice yesterday. He had a hand injury, but he did speak to the media. So I don't know if that was just a rest day. DK Metcalf rest those pretty hands. Jerome Baker, our old friend, he has a hammy, didn't practice.
Hammies are tough.
So, and
of all the injuries that I was terrified with, and that's including broken bones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That hammy, you are very gingerly. You're very ginger with the hammy.
North by Southwest says, "Does this all really matter? 8 and 9 season. All right, I guess we could just pack up the shows till January."
Jeez.
Jesus. But that's your injury report. Very long. I'm not going to go over the whole Seattle Seahawks one. I gave you some notable names, but we'll see. I don't know if they got one of them young coaches too. I don't know if he does the very cautious practice thing. So we'll get probably a clearer picture on them today and whatnot. But there you go as we get ready for Dolphins and Seahawks and getting closer to it. We will take a break here on the show. Back more to this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM. Dolphins getting set for the Seattle Seahawks. And that gets going at 4 o'clock on Sunday. You got Game Day Uncensored coming your way at noon. And, this is one of those interesting matchups, Leroy, because, do you find it helpful at all? Does it matter at all that they have basically defensive cousins here? You have Mike McDaniel, who runs the Seahawks defense, their head coach, their whiz kid from the from Baltimore, and you got Anthony Weaver, who was his D-line coach last year.
Some similarities, but a lot of times when a guy breaks free, he puts his own imprint on a defense.
Yeah, DK was saying yesterday he notices the Dolphins like to blitz a lot more.
Right. So, but that's, look, one of the things about defense is it's not who blitzes, it's how many. So always think of that. And I learned this playing Pittsburgh and losing so many times. They started what is known as the zone blitz. And that means you bring 5, but you don't know which 5. And then they drop D linemen and linebackers and rushers into the throwing lanes. If you're looking at the wrong guy, then one guy comes free and they only rush 5 guys. Or if you don't read it properly offensively, you end up breaking or running a hot route or a sight adjustment route, and you're running right into the defender that's dropping in that area. So I pay attention more to how many and not to who. Some people just consider if a safety comes or a slot guy comes, that's a blitz. But what if it's only 4 or 5 rushers? You see, so you got to be careful with that. So there's a lot of guys that add their own little nuance to that, how they try to show one thing or another. And I'm guessing because Skylar Thompson is young and hasn't played as much as Tua, that they're going to give him as many looks as possible. They're going to have guys rotating and moving after the snap to give him a pre-shot look or a pre-snap look so that he gets maybe confused, hold the ball a little bit longer, and that's kind of the game you're going to play.
I mean, he is going to hold on to the ball longer because nobody gets rid of it faster than Tua. Is there going to be is there something that he could get deked into with his defense because they think, oh, he'll improvise a little bit more or he won't like what he sees initially?
No, because the other thing is that there's 2 things. There's 2 types of quarterbacks. There's the Tua quarterback, time, release, pinpoint accuracy, stuff like that. There's the other quarterback that tries to hold the ball a little bit longer and put you in a position where, listen, once you get to 3-4 seconds, it's hard to cover anybody. I don't care how good your secondary is. And so once that quarterback gets that ball and they're able to protect, or he's able to create some space and move around for 4 seconds, somebody's going to come open. And you have those types of quarterbacks, right? You see a lot of your big plays aren't necessarily schemed, but they're plays that are a little off schedule, right? And those are the plays that end up being the big plays. So I don't know, for example, what if you run a blitz and the team has max protection, right? Now you got a DB dealing with Waddle and Tyreek for 3-4 seconds. One of them's going to get open. That's kind of how the cat and mouse game works offensively and defensively.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm kind of interested to see with him, right? Because it's he has experience. He's been there. He's had a year where he's kind of gotten it under his belt.
Played in a big time game.
Played in big time games. Got a little bit of mobility to him. Like he's got. He's not definitely a guy who just will stand back there and can roll out a little bit. I think the thing you just worry about, I'm like, you do have those weapons. It's almost like that bleep it. Tyreek Hill's down there somewhere. Like I want him to still take shots, and I'm worried about him being a little bit gun shy of mistakes. And especially like I remember the last game that he was in with Waddle. Waddle really let him down because he had some nice throws and his guys weren't there for him. I hope that this is one of those games where they pick him up.
Well, and that's the thing. That's when we started the week. What did I say? Everybody's going to have to pick up what's lost. So that means the run game is going to have to be you're going to have a better run game, right? You might have to run the ball a little bit better. You might have to play a little bit better defense. You might have to take more chances on the defense to give your offense more opportunities, right? Wide receivers, they're going to have to catch balls that might not be right in their hands, but they're going to have to make a play for their quarterback. Like everybody's going to have to pick up the slack a little bit. The offensive line, you're used to the ball coming out quickly. You might have to, protect a little bit longer, right? These are all the things that happen in the offense. And I see your look when I said the offensive line might have to protect more. And you got –
Well, I mean, so you said 3 of them are on the injury report for shoulder injuries. Like, I don't feel great about that.
Right. But I don't – the Dolphins injury report I pay 0 to no attention to unless we know of a real injury.
Well,
right.
I just, Armstead is just always
right. But that's that like he comes, he practices in camp, and I bet you he put more days in camp than he'll put in all year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Probably.
that's just the nature of that. Like, so if you have somewhat of a concern, I get it, but you have a good enough offense where there'll be plays to be made. And I think that they're going to have to make a conscious effort this week with all the different types of runs you have, a conscious effort to run the football. You just have to. That is going to take a lot of the pressure off. And then get after their quarterback. Press the issue a little bit. Right? Press it. Make him throw the ball quicker than he wants to. Give him a whole bunch of looks, right? Because, again, Geno Smith has played the last couple of years in Seattle. And just live his little life in Seattle and really have no pressure on him.
You cut out there for a second, buddy. Can you repeat what you're saying about Geno?
I said Geno Smith has had kind of a resurgence in Seattle, right? With some weapons and stuff like that. I said, but he hasn't really had a lot of pressure on him. You know what I mean? There's never and so from that standpoint, you got to turn up the heat on him. You got to turn up, because all the other teams that he played for, the reason why he couldn't is because when things got hot, when the protection got tough, he threw it to the other team, or he couldn't sit in the pocket. I don't know if he's grown from that. I don't know if he's gotten better at that, but you're going to have to defensively push the issue a little bit. Give the offense more opportunities to with the ball. So it'll be interesting to see, because I don't know. Both teams are thinking the same thing. Let's put their quarterback under heat and see if they can withstand it. Right.
But do you think, because that the Dolphins, I mean, we saw a great game from Devon last week, and you're getting Mostert back, because I'm thinking in this crazy ass Seattle atmosphere, don't you want to try and dictate that run game early on so you don't have to stress that so much? Of
course, it's got to start with the run. I've been emphasizing that all week. With all the different ways you can run the football, right? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to use all those things to run the football. You're going to try to have some success running it. And then the play action, somebody's going to be wide open if you're able to run it, because they're going to do whatever they can to stop the run, because they want to force Skylar Thompson to win the game. That's what they want. They want to, hey, anytime you play a backup quarterback, you want to put them in a situation where they got to rely on that backup quarterback. And they're going to say, he's a backup for a reason because he ain't the guy. So let's put some heat on them offensively, even if you have to line 8 guys up in the box, right, to give the appearance. A lot of times here is going to be key this week. Appearance, what things look like. So it is going to look like 8 in the box. Skyler checks into a pass. Then they drop back, right? A lot of that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of times where you run the football and you might run it into an 8-man box because you thought they were going to back out of it. That's okay. You can live with that. The offense, the way this offense operates, they have you thinking about every aspect of football. The run, the sweep, the quick pass, the deep pass, the middle of the field. They try to put pressure on every area of the field. If you can do that offensively and keep them on their heels, you can have some success. This is with any offense. Like a lot of the offenses, the better defenses, sometimes it doesn't faze them because you're not having success. That's what happens with Buffalo. That's what happens with teams that you play a lot, right? These are the kind of things that happen. But if you can go a team that you haven't played a lot of, that is only seeing your offense on film, and you can go and kind of tweak it a little bit and open their eyes a little bit to say, oh my goodness, there's fast guys everywhere. What are we going to do? Right? Then you have a chance. But so I'm looking forward to it. I don't think, the way people thinking in that, oh, Seattle's just going to do this to them or the Dolphins aren't going to be able to do anything. Your offense is set up with all that speed that no matter who's the quarterback, you can create space. You can create space, and then it'll be just a matter of the timing and the delivery of the football in that space.
Speaking of timing and delivery, by the way, you want to have great timing and delivery when it comes to your dry cleaning, all right? You don't want to just go to any bum out there who's going to, put your shirt on the rack and then they'll lose it in their just mountainous, cavernous dry cleaning system. That's why you want the best dry cleaning in South Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners, 40-plus years owned and run. Thanks to our guy, R, over there. Fan of the show, and he wants to take care of our audience, Leroy.
Yep, he has a special deal for us. If you use A&T Dry Cleaners, mention Tobin and Leroy, and get 25% off your order. That's right. Mention you heard about A&T Dry Cleaners from Tobin and Leroy, and you'll get 25% off your order. They have a seamstress on site. All you have to do, if you need that costume, your kids getting a little need a little adjustment on that Halloween costume or the uniforms, those pants legs. You got to let those pants legs out.
Yep.
Every year. Look, proms are coming up, homecoming dances are coming up. You need to take in those suits or those dresses. Just give Ira a call. Give him a call. He'll give you a quote. Don't just go in there and think it's going to cost a certain price. All alterations are different. Just call A&T Dry Cleaners. Again, that number is 954-610-9383.
Yeah, R's going to take care of you guys. He has that personal touch, family business. They've been doing this for decades down here, serving all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beach counties. Plus, he's into the silly sauce down here, right? He's into the silly sauce, but you get any sauce on your shirt, clean that shirt right there for you, man. You use that A&T Dry Cleaners. You're never going to want to launder your own clothes again. So, again, call or text A&T Dry Cleaners. Their owners are 954-610-9383.
fix your face. 2 more.
Welcome back. What are you watching, man? What do you got? You've become a social media peruser during the breaks.
Well, no, I was watching rugby, female rugby. Some girl stiff armed another girl, and it was brutal.
Wow. Rugby is crazy.
But you know what? Remember years ago when San Francisco hired a rugby coach and had them tackled that way?
I don't read that.
Yeah, they hired a rugby coach. It's weird because they don't wear helmets except for those, cauliflower helmets. And
they kind of look like Guardian caps.
Right. And they don't, I don't know how much they talk about concussions and stuff, and they don't have no pads on.
I'm going to guess based on Australia, they don't base a lot on concussions. That's just me.
No, they don't hit with their head.
No, they have spotters. Rugby started the spotter.
Like they spot somebody on the field and take them out?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And they test them. That's where the NFL got the spotter type thing from.
See,
rugby.
I went based on Alexander Volkanovski, former UFC featherweight champion, who got head kicked to hell by Islam Makhachev and then thought, I'm going to fight in a month. And I was like, that's not a good idea. And then, of course, got knocked out again. And by the way, unbeatable up until that point, was killing everybody, was maybe going to pass, Aldo or McGregor for the greatest featherweight or Holloway, greatest featherweight of all time. And then got head kicked. He's like, I'm going to take Islam Makhachev on, number 1 pound for pound fighter. I'm going to take him on in 10 days notice. Head kicked. He goes, I'll get right back in there with the number 1 contender in a month. Knocked out. He shouldn't stand for all of Australia. I understand that.
Like your recollection of certain events is like because here's the deal. You never have that before the fight. You always come to be like, oh, we got a big one this week.
Yeah.
You don't ever mention that I don't know. He got kicked in the face a month ago. He might not be ready. You don't care about that. So how do you think other people feel?
I don't know. But he should take a while off. I think head kicks you should take like a minimum of like,
dude, first of all, like I don't understand how like it is the slowest thing to hit you in the head, right? And I understand the setup, and you're not like you can't be looking everywhere, right? And like it just kind of like every time you see a head kick, it's almost like, oh, it got through. Oh, right? Yeah. It's never like, oh.
Yeah.
And you can't start with the head kick, right? So you work in the body, you work in different angles, throw a couple of kicks in there, and then boom.
If you like you always mock the head kick, but if you start off getting hit with the head kick, you should have probably not been asleep,
Right.
But I've seen some crazy spinning kicks to start.
Yeah, with. like I'm already gonna have to be a level of messed up if I'm gonna let you do a pirouette in front of me and then kick me in the side of the face. Now the spinning elbow, that's a whole different story.
Oh, those are great.
The spinning elbow, woo, man.
John Jones.
Ooh.
Fantastic at that. Do you want to hear? Not hear. Do you want to see that it seems like Tyler Herro is taking some disrespect, or do you not want to hear from him? Because
here's what I would say.
Missed half the season.
Here's what I would say. I have been pretty good at this throughout my whole career. If you had a complaint that was valid, I ate it like a snack, because I am the one that can change that narrative. Okay? I can't get sensitive or upset about somebody having a problem with something that is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So when people would say, you fumbled, I would say, I'm not trying to. but I'm going to work on it, right? When people say, oh, you dropped the ball or did this, I said, yeah, I usually make those plays, but I'm not going to get pissed off at the person that's bringing that to everybody's attention because it is factual. So what I would say about Tyler Herro is this. People want to win. Fans want to win. They want you to play. If somebody comes at you because you don't play, regardless of what the reason is, all you can do is change the narrative in the next year. These are facts. So him getting upset about somebody saying Tyler Herro never plays, it comes across the wrong way because it is factual.
So what happened was, I'll give some context to this.
Okay, because I have no context.
CBS Sports put out their top 100 NBA players.
Okay.
Which I believe some account NBA Central, Legion Hoops, who knows, who cares?
Right.
They Hoops Hype, whatever one of those tweeted out the list. And so Herro yesterday posts on his Instagram and he posts the list. No context. Just
no context. Just post the list. Was he on it?
He was on the list. He was on, but he was low on the list.
You know? Like, to only play half a season and still be on the list is incredible.
And I think intentionally cut the list off to make it look like the bottom of the list. So he's looking up at the list and seeing all the names that are above him. And I imagine the point of it being posted is, this is ridiculous. But he didn't miss half the season. You got the list there, JFig. Throw it up there for our viewers.
Yeah, all right.
So Tyler Herro throws up the list. You can see him there. 87 on the list.
Right.
87 with the likes of Anthony Simons, Mike Conley, RJ Barrett,
50.
Jonathan Kamei is 50. Emmanuel Quickly, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Johnson, Austin Reeves. Oh, that's the one that pisses him off for sure.
Look how low CJ McCollum is, though.
What's that?
Look how low CJ McCollum is.
CJ McCollum, 74.
And Zach LaVine's higher than him. He played no games.
Naz Reid was 6th man of the year last year. He's 75. Kobe White had a really good second half of last year. He's 71. It's these guards that I think he's looking at and going, pff.
Okay, but guess what? It's easy to go, pff, but you ain't played. So how are we supposed to like that's my point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not playing basketball, how can you get mad being on a list below some people that played basketball?
I don't know that he's mad. He just posted the list.
Okay, but the comments.
I don't know that he's mad. I would imagine he's not.
Wait. When you put the list up and stop at your name, you are kind of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It implies that you are mad.
You implied that, So, but I listen. He can be mad. He can even feel like he's better than a lot of those guys, but he can't complain about the list if he hasn't played.
CBS writes of the list last year, his rank was 78. They wrote on Tyler Herro, injuries really handicapped Herro's last season as he played in a career low 42 games. But he was still among the most efficient shooters in the league. His production didn't garner a bunch of attention, but he put up near career numbers across the board. He's going to get you 20 points a night on efficient numbers. And this combination of being a 3-point threat while also being able to score off the dribble is vital to the Heat's offense that gets stagnant when he or Jimmy Butler aren't on the floor.
So, like you can't compliment a guy any more than that. Like, if he was 5th on the list, they could write the same thing, right? So, but I'm more than sure the comments came in.
He didn't see the comments. He saw the list.
Oh, okay.
Saw the names. That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe he went and researched it, but he didn't post the comments. He posted the list.
Okay, so now that you read the comments and you see the list, it's understandable.
Of why he's ranked there? I don't have a problem with his ranking. I think if you miss half the season, like, be happy that you're ranked.
That you're ranked, correct.
You know, that's kind of odd.
So I'm talking about what were the comments? Is he really? He just put the list. He ain't put no comments.
He didn't put the comment. He just put the list.
Did people put comments below him though?
No, I don't know. He just put this on Instagram, like on the story.
So, so you wait a minute. So you had that's about where he should be. I mean, the only guy that gets hurt more than him is Bradley Beal, but Bradley Beal he got some years behind him and some.
He's got some credentials.
He got some credentials.
CJ
McCollum, he hardly played last year, right? Zach LaVine.
He played.
Zach LaVine didn't play at all.
I think the guy we're used to not playing on the Pelicans is Zion.
Played more games than Jimmy Butler.
That is true. He did, but then of course
Zion. Oh, I know. We got Mr. Nola, Mr. New Orleans. He know those Pelican stats. Yeah, he know the Pels. So yeah, I don't know. You kind of said it. You know,
I can see the guy who's burning his chaps right now is Austin Reeves.
But Austin Reeves, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but Mike Conley's on the Wolves. They're a good team.
100 though.
You're gonna get some love there.
So can I ask you where's Bam?
Oh, I can find out. Hold on, I got the list. He was in the 20s, I think. I think he was like 22.
Right.
Jimmy and Bam. Here's they're just outside the top 20. It's actually funny you mentioned the Zion thing, Dan. 21 Zion, 22 Jimmy Butler, 23 Bam.
Okay.
24 Tyrese Maxey, 25 Kyrie.
Wow, Tyrese Maxey is 24.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! Wow.
Yep.
Can we do a top 10?
Yeah, I'll give you the top 10. I'll give you the top 10. You probably could guess them, but I'll give you the top 10. This is CBS Sports, by the way, just so you guys know. Ant-Man is 10th.
Okay, yeah. All right.
9, Kevin Durant.
Okay. All right.
8, LeBron.
Wow.
7, Mr. Bench himself, Jason Tatum. 6, Steph Curry. 4, Joel Embiid. 5, Joel Embiid. 4, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Then 3, Luka. 2, Giannis. 1, Joker.
Yeah. Where's Anthony
Davis?
Anthony Davis, yeah.
11th.
Wow. Okay.
Victor Wembanyama, 12th. That's strong. You did get cooked by Duncan Robinson.
Nah, but dude, he is a game changer.
Oh, he's a monster.
He's a monster, right? Like, so I'm okay with that.
Except when he faces the Dunkyard Dog.
I could see the list. I would probably move LeBron up just because he old as hell, and to be able to even be on the list, you know what I mean, and be even like top 10, that automatically should move you up a couple of spots.
They say on Jimmy Butler, last year's rank was 9th. Butler is what he is, a great player who paces himself in the regular season in order to produce superstar postseason stretches. The stats fill every column and impact always adds up. Last season, the Heat outscored opponents by 1.7 points per 100 possessions per cleaning the glass. That number elevated to plus 8 points per 100 when Butler was on the floor. The question is, are the Heat still good enough to give Butler the opportunity to lift into his postseason year? Or is this a regressing team that might actually look to trade Butler before his next and probably last significant payday?
And I don't know why they don't, like, here's what's crazy. Jimmy plays 5 more games, he would be considered top 5 because they'd be a 2 seed.
Yep.
So, like, that is the bigger question. Like, we know what Jimmy is, but we just need him to be that more, right? Because the Eastern Conference, positioning in the Eastern Conference matters more than it does in the Western Conference.
Some people want to know on the Celtics, where was Jaylen Brown ranked? 15th.
Wow.
8 spots below Jason Tatum.
Oh,
Again,
my goodness.
You do recall correctly, Jaylen Brown did take home both trophies at the end of the postseason last year. I'm waiting for one list to have the balls to put Jaylen Brown above him. I'm waiting for one list.
They don't here. Tell me if I'm wrong with this. They don't win the championship without Jaylen Brown. They still win the championship without Jason Tatum.
I don't know. But what I do know is I know who is more noticeable and who had better games.
Right.
And I don't understand why that's 7 slots below the guy.
Right.
Schmieden says, you're a journalist. Make the list. You want me to make a top 100 list?
No, we don't.
I'll do it.
We don't. No,
I need a day. I'll do it tomorrow, though.
No, we don't. Right. No, we don't.
5 Jaime Jaquez.
See, why are you Smeaton, why are you asking for this?
I will dictate the list. I got a long drive. You know, I could do that list by my drive from Lakewood to Miami.
Somebody said, Al Mackey said, Brown is behind Tatum so he can carry him.
Take a break. Back after this. It's Hour Tua. I don't know if I can do the sad open again today, Dan Day. I already did it once this week.
It's so depressing. Like, it's like here. Like,
Leroy's got a handkerchief. Oh man.
Chris Sims could go to hell still.
Dolphins getting ready for the Seahawks. Taking guys up until 2.
Here's the deal.
Oh man.
If your season and your is centered around one guy that much, then you're not ready to win a championship.
I mean, Kansas City, if Patrick Mahomes got hurt, do you think they would be okay?
Yeah, because they still won with who's it? The quarterback that was here.
Bro, nobody's picking them to win the championship if Mahomes was done. You're
No. I'm saying there was 2 years ago.
Backing him up.
No. 2 years ago, who's the quarterback that came here? From Michigan.
Penny came in for a game.
Penny came in for a game. But you're gonna have to be able to find a way till your guys get back.
I agree with that.
It's early in the season. So, like, it's not over. You got to find a way. That's everybody's job in that building. Find a way to win. It might not look pretty. In some instances, it may look damn ugly. But find a way to win. If your team is good enough, then you're good enough to be able to get by a couple of weeks or a few weeks without one guy.
I think this is a big stand for Mike McDaniel, if I'm honest. All right. You're supposed to be some kind of guru. All right. You're supposed to figure things out. Now you got to go. I'm looking around and I'm looking across the aisle, and I got another guru here in Mike McDonald. You guys basically got the same name. All right.
The two Mikes.
Two Mikes. Two
Mike
Max.
Max. Two Mike Max.
I want to see. Show me you're a guru. This guy's supposedly a guru. He's got his team off to a 2-0 start. All right. Led Baltimore's defense last year. You got basically inside info. This is like insider trading. All right.
Can I just say this?
Trading, dude.
Can I please say this? Systems, yes. You have an insight on the system or maybe the idea of what he's trying to do. But here's where that changes. When you have different players, when you have different positions that are more dominant than the other ones on the team, that field that you left or the team that you left. So even though you might have the same general concept, it changes with the players. And so to just sit here and think that you're going to go and just say, oh, let's look at Baltimore's. Well, Seattle don't have the same players.
Nah, ridiculous.
Yes, dude.
I'll tell you what. They got, this.
Want me to give you a perfect example?
Sure.
I give you a perfect example. So our offensive coordinator went to Baltimore. Brian Billick. He went to Baltimore. And their offense was horrible. And they still won the Super Bowl. You know why? Because he didn't have Randy Moss, So all these teams looking at Minnesota to try to figure out what Brian Billick is going to do when Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and Jake Reed didn't go with him. It's you ain't going to, it's going to look different. Coaches evolve. Coaches match the talent that they have. So depending on the talent that Seattle has defensively will determine where they put the emphasis on putting pressure on you not just the offense. You can't just plug and play anybody, right? You can't. If the offensive coordinator here goes to another team, he ain't got Tyreek Hill. You can't be studying that film with Tyreek Hill and go, okay, this is what we gonna cover.
I need the moles to step up, dude. Like Jordan Poyer, where were you last week? You don't think Jerome Baker's giving insight into Skylar Thompson?
Here's an interesting one. You know what Jordan Poirier knew?
Hmm?
He knew that their quarterback was a moose.
This
that
guy,
Josh Allen was a moose. Hey, it's going to be hell getting him on the ground. He's a moose. And
he
guess
was
what?
there. No. He told the media. No. He told the media in the lead up, I got inside.
And wait, and when he said that, what did I say to you?
I don't know.
When he said, I said, yeah, whatever. Like, come on. Like, yo, you take a sport that is so much more complicated and make it just, if I know what the other guy's doing, I can stop him.
Yeah,
really?
Wait,
everybody in the league know Tyreek gonna run fast.
Okay.
Are they stopping him? Come on, like don't.
You guys have that engraved at Michigan? Like, is that on the wall now?
No. You know what's engraved on the wall? Those who stay will be champions.
Is that really on the wall? That's kind of Goosies. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. Headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Miami Hurricanes, they are getting ready, of course, for a showdown with USF. 7 o'clock on Saturday. So was it 3 o'clock is our pregame coverage on QAM. Dan, you on Saturday as well? People listen to you?
Come on, man. I live here. I'm on everything. Dude. You want me? I got Hawk and Crowder next. I got day at night. I'll be at pregame, postgame. I might even cover some games that aren't even on this station. I don't know.
Can somebody just like they're just gonna take Dan and like his AI of just running this station. There'll be a cyborg there one day. It'll just
what we're gonna do
out of him.
When we come into work, we're just gonna bring an extra cup of coffee. Dan's probably here. It just bring it and sit in this little spot over there.
I'm sitting here running Odyssey in the Northeast, you know.
I really worked in Boston this morning.
He did.
Now I'm here in Miami.
He did. No, you did. You worked in Boston this morning.
No joke.
Decide something, bruh. I really want both these teams to fail tonight. I mean, I want sadness tonight. That's what I want.
I want somebody's going to be here. The only team that can be sad tonight are the New York Jets. The Patriots can't be sad because nobody's expecting anything from them. Everybody said before the season started it was going to be a struggle. The fact that they beat Cincinnati, right? They're already on high. So the only team tonight that can be disappointed and miserable are the Jets. Everybody expect the Patriots to suck. So
that's true.
Yeah, so that's it. So now, look, I've already cut your hate watching in half.
No, I still hate Boston. Like I can.
But guess what? Let me ask you an honest question.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two teams you hate, has to lose.
Yeah,
you'll have more fun if the Jets lose.
100%.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I cut your hate watching in half.
100%.
You don't have to. You don't have to all out cheer for the Patriots. But if the Jets should come up short,
well,
do a little
but let's just say theoretically, Leroy, if I wanted some action tonight, if I wanted to have a little bit of fun tonight, what could I do? What could I do, sir?
Y'all could join me at Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Want to play Prize Picks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. You know what else I like? Prize Picks put their members first. So all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my Prize Picks hits, I can get my money as quick as 15 minutes. That's good. You get paid quick. You know, you like that. Fast pay make fast friends, my friend. All you have to do is download the Prize Pick app today and use code WQAM and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WQAM on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy will be back in a bit. He is checking in with his folks in Cleveland. Normally does it on Wednesdays, but we were at Panthers Media Day yesterday, which a lot of people loving Sergei Bobrovsky and his respect for the Stanley Cup, that he held it in such a – he is not about hijinks with the Stanley Cup, at least not publicly. He's not letting us know. Because we asked him, did he pull the Roberto Luongo, eat anything out of it? And you could just see the look in his face of too much respect for the cup, not going to do anything crazy with it. Basically sounded like he brought it into his house, put it on a podium, and nobody was allowed to touch it. Pictures around it, maybe white gloves for the Bobrovsky family, but that's it. You know, we're not doing any hijinks with the Stanley Cup, which I was a little disappointed. I was hoping that Sergei would cut loose a little bit, but if he did not reveal it. He's keeping it all to himself. So we got that. One thing that is going to be fun, speaking of cups, get your whiskey cups ready, ladies and gentlemen. I guess you really drink it out of a glass. But either way, you guys can join the WQM on-air staff at Smoke on the Water in Weston for Whiskey Stars and Cigars next Wednesday, September 25th. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Enjoy fine whiskey, a good cigar, and sports talk with the WQM on-air staff. The Heat's Duncan Robinson is going to be in attendance. You guys can attend for free. All you got to do is RSVP at WQAM.com. But spots are filling up, so do so quickly. And that'll get you an invite and a complimentary cigar. You must be over 21. Drink responsibly. Come hang out with all of us here at the WQM on-air staff at Whiskey Stars and Cigars. Wednesday, September 25th at Smoke on the Water in Weston, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Official partner, the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man. Go online to themainman.com. And sponsored by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Visit cohenandjudah.com to see partner reviews. Dan, since you were working Boston this morning, I'm curious, did they speak at all about the Aaron Hernandez television show that debuted yesterday?
No, not one word about it.
Not a word about it?
No, not a word.
I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday, and I will say it's one of those empty calorie shows, which are my favorites. I love terrible reality TV. Hulu, they've done these sports shows before, like they did the Mike Tyson show. I couldn't get into it. I'm like, this guy he looks nothing like Mike Tyson. They're always over the top with it. Like they're always just going way over the line. But then on top of it, I just couldn't get past this guy. Didn't look like Mike Tyson at all. Didn't do the voice. Like just didn't pull it off, you know? The Aaron Hernandez one, it's not the casting that bothers me. Although the Urban Meyer guy, that's my favorite character because he's, you know what it is? He looks nothing like Urban Meyer, except for the feathered hair that they've tried to pull off in makeup. But he sounds like Urban Meyer. He pulled off the voice, but it's just ridiculous, this entire show. Like them going to Gainesville. They have a fake Cam Newton who got kicked. They even did the poor Cam Newton's catch and straight. This isn't his show.
Cam didn't do anything.
This is not his show. And yet they somehow, spoiler alert, they're doing, but these are real events. So if you didn't know they happened, I'm just letting you know these are in the show. Cam Newton stealing the laptops in the show.
In the show.
In the show.
That has nothing to do with anything.
This is Aaron Hernandez's story, not Cam Newton's. They only have one of the Pouncey brothers at this point. And yeah, it's a lot. It's very over the top. I think I'm going to keep watching. Like,
is it good over the top though?
It's good enough for me to keep watching. Like, I don't know if it's good or train wreck, entertaining, where I'm just going to keep watching. I am struggling for new TV shows right now. So the bar is very, very low for me. Very, very low, and I just don't have it in me to watch the Marlins right now. So I was just like, you know what? Let's try the Aaron Hernandez show. But it is hilarious. Like the whole story. And I don't even know if this is real. I didn't dive into Aaron Hernandez's childhood. I know like what happened at the end and how he grew up, but like, the fact that his parents or his father really wanted him to go to UConn above anywhere else and he turned down Notre Dame scholarships, That's a patently terrible decision for your child. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm very sorry that the father ended up passing away later, spoiler alert, in the show, all of this real life events. But I was like, what? UConn? UConn? That's where they wanted him to go?
Yeah,
what a terrible choice.
That was the goal in life.
UConn.
Well, he's from that area. So
he is from there.
Stay local. But Urban Meyer was able to just go in there and get the highly touted at the time.
He's like, that's the thing. Like, if this is the best.
Did they get into some of the other questionable childhood things that Aaron Hernandez may or may not have done with his friends?
Yes, a lot of that. A lot of Aaron Hernandez being closeted, being hiding his sexual past, all that type of stuff. Alleged. There's there's a lot of that. A lot of big portion of the show, I'd say. But also a lot of Urban Meyer's backstory. And I'm like,
there's a lot of
enough of Urban
backstories in this.
Like they're like they went through episode 2 was a lot of Gators, and it was like Urban Meyer, is dealing with all these criminals on his team running wild, and the Gators brass, because they lost 2 games that year, they're like, you got to do something about this, Herb. And he's like, would we be doing this if we were 8-0? And he goes, probably not. I'm like, well, I respect the honesty of the lawyer.
Yeah.
But then they're like, even get to the point where like Urban Meyer's getting the chest pains. I'm like, whose story is this? Whose story is this?
That's what Cam Newton, though. Like, really?
Caught a stray. I'm like, what is he? I mean, I understand what happened. We all remember history. I'm watching with Mrs. Tobin too, and she goes, why wasn't Tebow good in the NFL? Like, couldn't throw a lick. I'm like, you see the position Aaron Hernandez is playing? He should have played that in the NFL, and then maybe he would have had a future. But he had to be a quarterback.
His windup was a little long and couldn't really throw it very accurately or hard.
The Tebow thing was crazy, dude. Like, we would tune in. Like, you remember when the 2 things of Tebow where you just knew it was, first of all, that anybody drafted him in the first round. Crazy, Secondly, though, do you remember when we broke into SportsCenter coverage? This would have been on social media back in the day, but social media, Twitter, a little bit in its infancy. But when they broke into SportsCenter coverage because Tim Tebow had a new throwing delivery, and they're like, hey, you got to check out Tim Tebow's new throw. That, to me, I was like, oh, my God, this is great. And then, of course, he went over to baseball, which was, it was crazy. But anyway, I was just curious if Boston was discussing this at all,
Not a word. I didn't even know.
Well, I don't know when the new episode, I don't know if it's new episodes every day or every week. It's a little tough to tell with streaming. They gave the first 2 yesterday. And it's Dade South says the Hernandez show is not for us sports dorks. I don't care, Dade South, about how good it looks. I'm fully expecting the sports stuff of it to look bad. That I don't. I give passes on that. Like, I'm more interested in the people stories of it. But I'm just very curious, why so much Urban Meyer story on the Aaron Hernandez case? Like, this guy seemed like he ran with a rough crew, and they kind of just like they're spending more time on Urban Meyer trying to convince him to dominate than it is, why I had guys that may have shot guys outside of Gainesville clubs,
Yeah, maybe they'll tie it all together.
Maybe they will.
Maybe that's why Urban Meyer is so, I don't know, coy with the media at times, because maybe he's part of the reason.
Maybe I will say it's better than that whack ass Netflix documentary Swamp Kings, because that glazed over everything. They were just like, oh, that was the greatest team, the Gators team, but they did not, they maybe did some bad stuff, but we're not going to talk about it here on Netflix.
You think the salacious details would be part of the excitement?
You would think that, but that's the thing with the that series. Every one of these, that's like, it's great that you get the main person on camera, but if you're not going to talk about the stuff in depth, what's the point? Yeah, I
watched the Hope Solo Untold, whatever. Man, they left out a lot of details.
They did, right? Did they?
Like, huge.
Dude.
You could tell, like, they were just like, okay, Hope, as long as you're on the Untold, we'll kind of tailor the story your way.
That's been a big thing with Untold, is like, Untold, I guess, unasked.
I mean, major things they leave out. I'm like, okay, I guess you got Hope Solo.
So what was that one about? That was about her domestic violence arrest,
it was just
mostly?
kind of her career. And they kind of
They just glossed over the arrest.
Yeah, but they did talk about the arrest, but they didn't give any details, and they kind of made it look like she didn't do anything wrong. And then like they left out major details about like the women and her teammates and some of the stuff. And
crazy, dude.
They just really.
I'll tell you what else they did that with. And Dr. Toboggan mentions the Steve McNair documentary.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Well, I think that was the one that debuted, and it's like, all right. I remember the story. I always figured, he had a secret life. The story was he got, shot and killed by the mistress. What do you got for me? And like, you got these aren't like 6-parters. It's a 1-part. So they got like an hour and 15, and they're giving you like 50 minutes of how great the Tennessee Titans were when they moved to Nashville. And I'm like, that's awesome, dude. However, can you tell me about Steve McNair? What the hell happened? And then, spoiler alert, like in the last 10 minutes of it, they're like, by the way, it might have been the felon that the mistress was with, or his friend who stole $13,000 from him. All right, that's untold. See you, everybody. They're like, wait a minute. You should have spent all the documentary talking about that, not the fact that he came within a yard of winning the Super Bowl. I know that doesn't have to be told. We all saw it. You have to tell the untold.
Nope. Give me some stats. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, he could have died. Bye.
Yeah, we it does make sense. She never handled a gun in her life. Maybe it was the felon. I don't know. But they have this one guy who has all these theories, and that guy was left on the cutting room floor. I mean, respectfully, the McNairs, Steve McNair is not here to complain about this anymore. Like, let's get into this a little bit, untold.
See some of these possibilities and theories.
Very strange. Untold. They got to pick up the game. But anyway, I'll report back, everybody, when I get some more of the Aaron Hernandez story on Hulu.
I'll try to get to the Boston people tomorrow and see what they have to say about that.
We'll take a break. Mix things up. Coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. It is that time of day where we mix it on up, dude. It is time for the mix bag. So we'll start off with a little Miami Dolphins football. Skylar Thompson is, of course, your QB1 this week with Tyler Huntley backing him up. And one of the things we know about Seattle, notoriously one of the best home field advantages in the NFL. I would say you would go with them, probably the Superdome, Arrowhead. I would say those are probably like the top three everybody talks about as hardest places to play. But Skylar Thompson, he is ready for the 12th man. Here's what the Dolphins quarterback had to say on it.
Just hearing guys talk and guys that have been there, it's a special place to play. And the 12th man is real. And, I'm super excited for that. For me, that's what you want, like that's why football is such a great game. And, being able to go on the road, have a road opportunity with the guys and get to go in there and go to battle with them in that environment is fun, and I know we're really excited for that opportunity.
There you go. Skylar Thompson, excited for that opportunity. One thing that is good with him, of course, has that experience of starting a road playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. Also, a tough place to play. I don't think the noise wise, it's quite like Seattle, but I think he'll be ready for this one around.
Do you think it helps him that he's a gunslinger? It's just kind of that mentality as opposed to like not make a mistake.
I kind of hope that he goes with that mentality, Dan, because sometimes when we've seen him come into these games, he does seem a little gun shy, and I do want to see him just let it rip a little bit. Like even McDonald was talking about this, and he goes, yeah, there's a pretty big difference in watching him and Tua. He's like, Tua, get the ball, throw the ball. This guy, we got to go for some off-script stuff. We gotta account for all of this. So I think that in a weird way, I think it's not that it's harder for them to face Skylar Thompson, but I do think that they have to account for some more wild cards if he's able to pull it off. So definitely be an interesting thing to check out. But yeah, if he went into this game and he went, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'd rather Skylar Thompson walks out of this game, and leaves it all out there than a meek performance of don't blow this. Like, if he throws a couple picks, he throws a couple picks. As long as they're ones that were down the field and not like little stupid checkdowns that happened and he just had to throw it up. Don't pull a Will Levis, or quite frankly, don't pull a Tua like he did on Thursday night. Then I'll be okay with it. I can live with mistakes if he's taking chances.
Yeah, you got to go all out. Go down on your sword. You can't be out there playing not to get pulled because you want to see him just go out there. And if you get pulled, you get pulled. Then you got Snoop Dogg coming in.
Snoop Huntley. I had no idea people were calling him Snoop, but now you do.
When he was a kid, he looked like Snoop Dogg.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll call him what he wants to be called, dude. I'm not against doing that for if you prefer that, then I'm all for it.
Hollandale Beach High.
Dolphins, that actually hasn't worked out recently though. All the local QBs who have come back, it's been a bit of a snake bit situation.
Who was the most recent one?
Mike White, before that Teddy, and then before that Jacoby Brissett. They hit all three counties, so now we're back to Broward. Let's hope this one works out. ESPN's Chris Canty, he's a bit of a Dolphins hater, but he had a take on ESPN radio and said that he believes the Panthers are in a better spot than the Miami Dolphins. Here's Chris Canty.
Which QB situation do you feel better about moving forward, Carolina or Miami?
Carolina, it's easier for them to cut their losses. Like, I know that moving on from Bryce Young is not going to really hamstring me in terms of my salary cap. I don't know the workaround when it comes to Tua's contract. I mean, you're going to have premium talent on the cheap, which is why I think the Dolphins will have to look to the draft at some point in order to figure out, what their answer to quarterback is long term. But yeah, I would feel better about the Carolina Panthers situation.
I mean, here's the thing with that, though, from Chris. I get what he's saying. I know he's trying to be cute there. I guess when you say cut your losses, the bigger thing is, well, you're already saying you didn't believe in Bryce Young. And if they're terrible, they'll just take the next quarterback, whoever it may be. Make it Cam Ward at the end of this thing, So there'll be a QB. The thing is, though, if this Dolphins thing does get disastrous, the Dolphins have their first-round pick next year, too. So they technically could do the same thing. it's not like there's this bevy of free agent QBs for Carolina to turn to if they don't have the situation. But yeah, they could pull an Arizona Cardinals like they did with Josh Rosen and just go back into the draft and try Kyler Murray. But man, these rookie QBs, you don't know, man. You don't know how long it's going to take them, because you could have CJ Stroud. You know, everybody was talking Bo Nix. Oh, Bo Nix is the man. Not looking so hot for Bo Nix. Maybe it will. Maybe.
I mean, it could still happen for Bryce Young. You got to give him a little bit of time, right?
Dade South saying Chase Daniels said the Dolphins should trade for Matthew Stafford.
Right. That was the talk.
Is Matthew Stafford on the block? Like, I mean, this is one of those where, like, okay, like, are the Rams just here willy-nilly willing to give up on Matthew Stafford?
Well, what they're talking about, I think the thing is Matthew Stafford comes to the Dolphins, Bryce Young goes to the Rams, and we give up a second-round pick, and so does the Rams to the Panthers.
I don't know who that benefits.
That doesn't benefit.
I don't know who that benefits.
It benefits the Dolphins.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. That one's a weird one to me.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day where it was like the Heat trade Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, and they trade Jaime Jaquez, I think it was to like the Kings, or no, it was the Jimmy Butler. I'll find this on Reddit. I want to get this right, but it was so ridiculous. I was like, what? Like, why would the Heat say yes to that? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Unconditional second-round pick. Why do we want that?
It basically was like, not only do the Heat lose Jimmy Butler, but also they're losing their top two guys, and I think we end up with like Kuminga. I'm like, cool. Thanks for your fake trade. Here it is. And I don't know. This is from, I think, Bleacher Report. Trade proposal. Warriors. They get Jimmy Butler and Pelle Larsson.
Oh.
The Heat, they get DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and a 2025 first-round pick. So you're going to get the Warriors' first-round pick with a team that's going to have Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. It's not going to be a high pick. And then the Hawks, they get Wiggins, Jovic, Kevon Looney, and 2 first-round picks. What? And I'm like, why would the Heat even entertain? I mean, you know, I gotta, just because you're a graphic doesn't mean, just because you can make graphics doesn't mean you should put out fake trades all the time. Man,
weird trade.
Very weird trade. Also, we turn to Philadelphia, the Eagles, who are getting ready to take on Dan Day's Saints, licking their wounds. But Nick Sirianni, who nobody seems to be a fan of right now, he says he's sticking by his decision. He's sticking by his decision of kicking the field goal and not running the football and everything that went down with Monday Night Football. He has no regrets.
I've put myself in that situation prior to the call, so I felt like in the moment, my conviction in the moment was I knew exactly what I want. Again, is the outcome always what you want? No, but your conviction in the call, I was completely convicted that kicking the field goal there was the right decision based off all my studies. Now, I come back and I reevaluate it, right? And I'm even more convicted, to be quite honest with you.
That's what you want to hear.
It is what you want. Here's the thing, though. I don't have a huge problem with it because the play should have worked. You know, like, ultimately the play should have worked. They should have given it. Saquon Barkley has to catch that football. He has to catch that football. So while I am, you know, I like laughing at Nick Sirianni because he's just got one of them faces that you just it's just, you know, not very rootable. And I can't get mad because I feel like it's mostly in the player's hand. Like, you have the ball there, you get it. That puppy is over. So I don't really have a problem with it. But, you know, when you say I'm even more convinced,
right, that's my problem.
That's the one where you're just like, all right, dude, you don't have to say, no, actually, it was super smart. Because my studies would have never accounted for how this goes wrong.
I mean, you don't want to hear your head coach being like, in hindsight, it wasn't the right call, but I'm convinced that I'd make it again. No.
Yeah, this is one of the things, when you have these guys, and Mike McDaniel has this in him too. He goes, well, yeah, I always like, when he has people question his plays, it's always like, people like the plays that work. I'm like, yeah. What, you think you're being cute here? Like,
We got to throw a couple that don't work so we can throw people off the ones that do work.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm always just one of those where like, all right, I get it. You guys put in more studies, you got more information out of anybody. Sometimes too much information, like just take the obvious thing. But you guys are so broken down with going for it and going against the metrics or trying to outwit everybody. And, I'm all for it. But then there's a time and place where you just kind of do the obvious thing.
Saquon's got to catch that pass, though.
Definitely. No, he's definitely more like if I'm going blank, I'll go 85 Saquon, 15 Nick Sirianni. But like, yeah, he's got to catch that football. He's got to catch that football. Nick T says doubling down will definitely go great with the Eagles fans.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair. We'll take a break here on the show. When we come back, more to come. We'll get back into Dolphins and Seahawks. And of course, we have a Monster Canes game as well. Leroy will return. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hello,
You be
Leroy.
proud of me, Tobin.
Why's that, buddy?
I got to ask, would I take Deshaun Watson
Hmm?
over Tua or Jalen Hurts?
And what'd you say?
I said Tua's number one on that list. So whatever order you go after that, just put Tua first. And
Man,
then
what was their reaction to that? Did they like that or not like that?
and they, like I said, if the job is giving rid of the ball in a timely manner and being accurate, right? Then Tua's first on that list. I said, now the thing that I'd say about Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson at this point are very similar, except Jalen Hurts runs a little bit better.
Yeah, I'd say a lot better.
Right. So there you have it.
I'd say.
I said, but I said, what are we doing? Like they had 20 quarterbacks throw for 150 yards. Right? Like, why is everybody hating their quarterback? Look around the league. So, like, your quarterback ain't standing out in front of them other 20 guys, but everybody feel the same way about their quarterback, except Aaron Rodgers. He can throw for 130 and everybody still love him.
Or you got Derek Carr, who's just slinging it all over the place.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. So I said, give it some time, because who knew, that the New Orleans Saints was going to go 40 for 40.
So they're still miserable, even with the win. Cleveland's still miserable today.
No, because they're saying, maybe, and then there's always the jackass that says, well, he only threw for 100, and I'm like, look around the league, dude. I mean, isn't where we are right now is on the curve, and then they asked me about,
Here's the thing with Deshaun, though, like, he's also like, I think that Cleveland's just waiting for, like, hey, can we have one performance that looks like you're worth this?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Just one.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. But I think you've been sold a bill of goods by the NFL, by organizations, right? That tend to think that we can just pick up a running back and have a running game. As we're starting to see, that's not very accurate. And the teams that are struggling are the team that just got any guy. Right? The teams that are having some success or having a better chance to win are those guys that have those horses that can run the football. So it's funny, 100 years of football, this still ain't changed. Run the ball, stop the run.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Miami Dolphins continue to get ready for the Seattle Seahawks. The biggest thing on the injury report yesterday, Malik Washington. Looks like he's getting revved up and starting to get back in action. The rookie has not yet made his debut. He's been dealing with a quad injury, but we saw some very impressive flashes in preseason.
Yeah.
Not exactly catching the football, just kind of getting the ball in his hands. He was doing stuff.
I just think he's one of those guys, what Mike McDaniel has a bunch of playmakers, but I would say Malik is a return guy also.
Yes.
So I got to tell you, you have a lot of playmakers, but I need you to get them the ball first. Stop rotating guys and putting a whole bunch of different guys in. Let somebody get their run on. You know what I mean? I love the way they do with the running backs. If a guy gets hot, then you leave him in.
Yep.
It just seems to be the same guy. So if it's the same guy, guess who's your starter? If HN is the only one that seems to always get hot, that's your starter.
Yeah. HN was rocking last week. Just keep giving him the football.
Right.
Was it the most prudent thing to do? No, but he was questionable going into that game, but he got rocking.
But again, I don't pay attention to that.
To what? Touches?
No. The injury report, unless you know a guy's really hurt.
Okay.
Right? Because
yeah, he did say there was
did HN was running around out there like he had a boo-boo?
No.
Okay. So
if he did, I can't wait to see what he looks like with no boo-boo.
Right. But I'm just saying, I don't pay too much, especially with this team, because everybody sits. Yeah, right? Everybody sits, don't practice, and you gotta explain why they didn't practice. So they put him on the injury list.
Mostert was limited to yesterday. He missed the last game with the chest injury. Mike McDaniel also said yesterday to the media that he has to, what was the term that he used with Raheem Mostert? He says he has to look between the words, basically calling Mostert a liar when it comes to his injuries. Like he'll lie to him about his injuries. So,
right, because he want to play.
He wants to play. So
Right.
we'll see if he's going to be good to go. Other headlines: Inter Miami. They played Atlanta to a 2-2 draw yesterday. Did you watch any of that, Dan? Did you check out any of the Pinks?
No, I did not see any of it or hear any of it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was working here.
Oh, that's fair.
Would so where do you know where they are in the standings?
Top.
Dan?
Top. They're almost. They've already clinched a playoff spot, and they're really close to winning the Supporters Shield, which would be winning the regular season.
Ooh.
Points.
Okay.
Is it an actual shield?
I don't think they have an actual shield.
It should be an
They
actual
might
shield.
actually.
That'd be kind of cool.
Like, you
We'll
want them
find
to
out
go
soon
out?
enough.
You want them to go out there like shield maidens? Like,
Yeah, like
you know,
Lagatha.
in like leagues like the Premier League, there is no like playoff or championship. It's just you win the league, like Inter Miami's doing the Supporters Shield. But United States doesn't play like that. We have to have a tournament at the end of the season. So we'll see. MLS Cup.
Damian saying it, they were winning, and then Messi came in and it went off the rails. Well,
hey, by the way, buddy, everybody in South Florida gonna live or die with that guy. So whatever you saying, like, okay.
well, I'll say this. You know, Atlanta wanted to see him out there. What are you gonna do? Like, didn't he came in late? I think in like substitutions. Like, hey, whatever, buddy. Let me do the thing. What was it, like 70,000 people there to see him
Yeah,
yesterday?
they're lucky they got him because he doesn't like playing on turf, and it was in that Mercedes-Benz whatever crap dome they have there.
It is a crap dome.
Yeah,
it is a crap. Their whole little area there, Atlanta.
Wow.
Atlanta.
The only thing they got is a good aquarium.
Oh,
there we
It
go.
is a good aquarium.
I don't like Atlanta, so
I know you guys don't like Atlanta. I'm well aware, but it's not.
people always ask like, "Oh, what's there to do?" I'm like, if you don't like Coca-Cola and strip clubs, you're not gonna have a good time in Atlanta.
I think that is very fair. Or whale sharks.
Then again,
or Augusta National, which nobody can get on.
Nah, they got a nice park. Olympic Park is kind of nice.
They play the Tour Championship in Atlanta.
Do they?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Inter Miami back in action against NYCFC this Saturday.
the Marlins lost yesterday to the Dodgers. You know,
What did Shohei do? That's all. That's where we are.
You want Shohei watch for you? That's all you want to know?
Yeah.
I got you. He's 40. He was 48 and 49 because he stole a base last night.
Oof.
He might have gotten a home run later in the night, but I didn't see it.
Nah, I don't think he did.
48, 49. 48 home runs, 49 stolen bases.
Will he be the first 50-50 guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Not for nothing. Did we think that guy would be Asian?
Stealing bases?
No, 50-50.
But you're going with stealing bases, right? Like that's why you're doing that.
Well, 50-50, however you want to put it.
I definitely
the
thought
50 home runs or the 50 stolen bases. We figured the first guy to do that.
I mean, Ichiro was really fast.
Ichiro didn't hit home runs though.
Well, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Hideki Matsui did. They called him Godzilla.
But he couldn't run. He could just trot.
Okay, so let me get. Okay, so let me.
Wait. Well, that seems like a stat that somebody like Jazz Chisholm would have. See what I'm saying?
So you're saying non-intangibles?
I mean, I want to say Canseco was the first. Was Canseco the first 40-40 guy or 30-30 guy?
He's a disgusting athlete. Like, come on. Like
the first 40-40. I want to say Ronald Acuna Jr. had a huge year last year.
Yeah, I believe he did 40-40.
He did 40-40. Okay, I didn't know. I'm trying to look right now. 41 home runs, 40-40.
Right.
Shohei's 6'4". He's a moose. He's
but you understand. You're calling him a moose and he has 50 stolen bases.
I know, but that's because he's a great athlete. He's obviously a great athlete.
I'm just. Did you miss my original point? Okay. Regardless of what, did you think that the first guy to go 50-50 was going to be
Japanese?
a Japanese moose? that you classified as a job. If you would have said Ichiro, okay, I would have said okay, right? Ichiro's a speed demon, stealing bases, and then he might have one of them years where he just
what are you listen? What are you more surprised with?
What do you mean? As far as what?
The home runs or the stolen bases? Like obviously he's been able to
hit
home
bases.
Why? Ichiro was fast.
You can't beat. How many fast mooses you know, jackass?
Barry Bonds was a moose. He was a 40-40 guy.
No, that's later date. Early Barry Bonds was skinny and small and quick and fast.
Didn't he get to 400 with the Giants?
400 stolen bases. Yeah, but by the time he got to the Giants, he wasn't stealing bases.
Well, I mean, it's because he was juiced like Gills. That's why.
But I'm just saying. Listen, I'm not.
I think if you were to tell me if your question was,
who's the first? If you ask 10 years from now, who's the first person to go?
Yeah, I'm actually
50-50. His name's not going to be the first one mentioned, even though he's going to be the first one. That's what I'm saying.
But this is why I would say that because he can do everything. Like he literally is. He is the best baseball player we've ever seen.
If I were to say Acuna would have did it, you'd have been like, "Oh, okay, got it."
Yeah, but I would have been like, "Okay, Acuna, he stayed healthy enough to do it." But like you shouldn't be surprised. He's great at everything.
That's because you're
He's done everything.
That's because you're an intangible. I think that's why you're willing to accept.
I don't think. No. I think if anything, this is going back at you like a boomerang, dude.
No, it's not.
Surprised is because he's not intangible.
Listen,
and I don't even know what the deal are with this one.
Here's the deal. Did you know there are 2 white corners in the NFL? There's another one that I just had a conversation with up in Cleveland. I thought that Bonner was the only one. Right? There's another one, actually one playing.
Right.
So that's right. So my question is, right? If they announce the Pro Bowlers later on in the year, and there's a white guy making corner.
Yep.
Is that more surprising than Ichiro being the first 50-50 guy? I'm just saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not warranted or earned. I'm just saying it would
It's not that surprising.
Because you would be surprised. Never mind. Let's just.
I don't think. Why am I in this conversation? I don't understand.
Because I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can have this conversation with you.
No, I think what you were saying is. Let me just say. I'm going to tread lightly here. I'm going to tread lightly.
Right.
You wanted the Thunder to go to a black player. That's what.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when you think about stolen bases, right?
Yes,
that's what you think of.
I think Ricky Henderson. I think Juan Pierre.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm very uncomfortable.
Thank you.
But
you made my point.
But if Barry Bonds would have thrown 95 miles an hour, but this guy does. He does everything. He is the baseball messiah. There's nothing he's not good at.
You don't have to defend him. I think he's one of the greatest baseball players to ever play. My question had nothing to do with his greatness. My question had to do with, to your point, if I said who was the first 50-50 guy, you would come up with a bunch of names 10 years from now before you came up with Shohei Ohtani.
No, I wouldn't though, because here's why my point is because you're going based on the nationality, and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He was great at everything.
I'm okay. All right. Listen. Okay. I like see, because I don't want people to take this the wrong damn way. And I think they're taking it the wrong damn way.
We know how you're taking it.
Right. I mean, come on. Right.
This guy's amazing, though.
He is amazing. This segment will be a future case study at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Followed by A moose can run 35 miles per hour boxed in.
I'm just curious, who is the last intangible to like? Is it Yelich? Like, what was Yelich's top in stolen bases?
It was, I mean, not intangible, but you got to go back to Jose Canseco 40-40, right? But like we don't count that. Who's the you got to go into the 70s, dude.
I would have thought what's Harper's best year?
Yeah, Harper didn't steal a lot of bases though.
Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout's got a bunch of them. Mike Trout's
Did he ever go 30-30? Was he ever on the field long enough?
That's not nice.
He's just been hurt lately. Early
okay, let's see. Go look.
Right out.
I'm just saying.
Go look. Lot lately. A lot.
Go look. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's not warranted or he's not one of the greatest to ever play.
Mike Trout led the league in stolen bases his second year with almost 50. He had 49.
And how many home runs?
30.
Okay. So Mike Trout could have been one of those guys, right?
He was one home run away from 30-30 in 2016.
Okay.
He had 39 homer, 24 stolen base year.
Here, let's be clear.
And then when he got to 2020, he stopped playing baseball.
Let's be clear. Clear my throat for this. 30-30, 50-50.
That's true. I remember when Preston Wilson did it. I was
right. See, you're making my point.
No.
This is, by the way,
don't put this on the pod.
Can I just say this? Like, this is not a racial thing. But everybody's thinking that no, I'm not. There's certain things that you see people do that you just like,
I just have a question though.
Just like if I see Bonner running down the field and got Tyreek Hill hemmed up, I'm gonna be like,
But Leroy, can I just say, wouldn't you put the idea that you wouldn't think that a Japanese baseball player would do both? Don't you also have to put into the wrinkle of this guy? Oh yeah, he's also the best pitcher we've seen too.
Yeah,
isn't he kind of a unicorn? Like,
yes, he's a unicorn. I'm not. Yes. All the things you're saying
should be
everything you're saying is correct. I'm just saying that 10 years from now, when we tell all the young whippersnappers that we saw one of the greatest baseball players ever, he had a 50-50 year, right? And we say his name was Shohei Ohtani, they're going to go,
I don't think they are.
Okay.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to be like, yeah, it makes sense. I think
no, they're not going to say, yeah, it makes sense.
I think they are, dude.
Right. Okay.
Take a break.
If we are allowed to come back.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good, and you?
You look preoccupied. You got on the air, and it looked like you had something that was worrying you. Is Scooby up to shenanigans?
No, so for some reason my mouse keeps going in and out, and it keeps disconnecting, so I couldn't hear you at one point. Also,
right. Wait, your mouse going in and out. What does that have to do?
The
with
mouse, but then also something else is connected there where I have
okay.
port. So
okay, you have a wired mouse?
Huh?
Is your mouse wired? Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Leroy,
what's up?
Your former quarterback's weird, man.
I know. I told you that. He is a linebacker trapped in a quarterback's body. And the crazy thing about it is, you look at him as weird. I look at him as Jim.
Jim Harbaugh had another doozy because he's been bringing the bangers. His head coach of the Chargers. This was him on his coaching staff in Los Angeles.
He's just a great coach. I mean, one of the best I've ever been around. Like Moses, I'm gonna die leaning on my staff. Greg Roman, Jesse Minter, Ryan Fick, and those coordinators are, in my opinion, some of the best in the business. And
like Moses, he's gonna die leaning on his staff.
Hey. He ties it all in, though. Nice little cute bow.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you, he's more efficient with words than Mike McDaniel is. That's for sure.
Yes.
I wonder sometimes if he has like these that he's used before, because it feels like he's probably used that a bunch.
It's something for a coach to be creative in how he delivers a message.
Oh yeah.
It's another thing for it to stick. So as crazy as Jim Harbaugh is, everybody went, oh, okay, all right.
I didn't even know Moses did die on the staff. I didn't realize that he was like. It was that because he was looking over and then it was over.
No,
I think that's how it was.
Who was on Moses' staff though?
Well, I think his. I don't know. I don't know who his run game coordinator was. I'm not positive.
He's leaning on the staff just like Moses. Team.
He had
Abraham.
He had the burning bush.
Abraham.
Burning Bush was offensive coordinator.
Whoever his wife was, probably.
Whoever made all the frogs with the plagues.
Yeah.
Wait, you think somebody was in the back room making frogs?
Oh man. Well, let's get to a guy less efficient with words. Mike McDaniel. This was him yesterday on injured reserve. The Dolphins officially placing Tua on injured reserve. Mike McDaniel said, this is a great chance for Tua to just focus on healing. Here's Mike.
The great thing about IR is there's, for a month time, there's no timelines. I always say that, but I'm not sure if people quite understand. Like, if you set a timeline based upon the information you have today, how much of
timelines,
whatever goes on, is fulfilling the prophecy of that timeline, and is that the right thing? That's especially with competitors and stuff that can get. Sometimes you can do more harm than good. I think, regardless, not worrying about anything as it relates to timelines is very empowering for him as a human being. To recover from injury, and that's steadfast the only motivating factor that you have when you're dealing with players and their careers and their injuries.
I need a defibrillator every time this man talks, so I can just get clear. Because I heard prophecy, then it got to the point where I'm like, what was he talking about again?
Well, I like.
What was the question?
He started with the good thing about the 4-week timeline is there are no timelines, huh?
Timelines are obsolete.
Can I break it down for you? What he's trying to say?
Yeah, sure. Try. Good luck.
When you put somebody on IR, it's a minimum of 4 weeks. There's no pressure or strain or anything to see where he is before that period of time. So when he says when he's on IR, it's 4 weeks. There is no timeline. Means that every week they're not going to have to answer the question of how close is Tua from playing because you've already determined it's 4 weeks. So even though there's a time frame, which is the 4-week IR, there is no timeline because it could be 2 weeks or it could be 6. We don't know, but we know that it's going to be at least 4 weeks. That's there. How did I do?
Much clearer.
Right. So that's why when he goes, there's timeline being the 4 weeks, but there is no timeline onto his, health. So you don't have to ask him every week.
Then we're gonna ask him every week anyway. They're not gonna let him talk.
Where's Tua in the process?
Where is he now? You know where he is. He's in no timeline land, although he is in a timeline, but not one that is set or definitive. Because maybe
that's what he was saying. So I just broke it down for you. And I'm gonna just, you know what? There's a couple of coaches that I've had to, clarify on. The old Go Tigers. I can break him down because me and Dan are probably the only two people in this state that can understand what the hell he was saying. Right? And I can break down Mike McDaniel a little bit and kind of give you the cliff notes of what he's saying. If I don't fall out from sheer concussion protocol, but listening to him. So that's what we have a timeline, but there's no timeline means.
Here is more of Mike McDaniel.
Oh, there's more?
On Tua being a leader while on IR.
I see a true leader and teammate that is worried about the right stuff. What he's worried about, is his doing everything that he can control for each day, and then also very much invested with his teammates. So, there's a lot of conversation that has to do with your just you, and that's odd by nature of odd, right? So
no, not right. We don't understand what the hell you're
a leader, a captain, the quarterback of this franchise, he is approaching it the way that true leaders and captains would, in terms of hey, this is not about me. We have a game. I'm getting healthy. We have a game on Sunday.
Oh, Jesus. Why? How many delay games are going to happen on Sunday? Because Skylar Thompson doesn't know what he's talking about. You need a Rosetta Stone for this man. Yeah. Imagine the first play he tries to give.
You know what's great? You know what's great about it? All the plays are numbered. So he just gives a number, not a play call.
You sure?
Yeah. That's what the armbands are for.
I feel like he's just giving you pie.
That's what the armbands are for. The armbands are to eliminate the Mike McDaniel effect.
I hope so.
To clarify the situation.
Yeah. So that right there is truly shocking. It really is.
Why does my stomach
Holy smokes. Why is your stomach hurt?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's like I gotta tell you, he does put my brain on overdrive. That is not even
sometimes I feel like he's going somewhere and then just diverts.
Detours.
It just jolts out of control. And I'm like, okay, all right. What? Man, all right. Take a break. Look. All right. Welcome back. Tobin, Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Get to Goosies, no Goosies here in just a second. JFig will give us our topics du jour. But first, I want to let you know you guys can join the WQAM on-air staff at Smoke on the Water in Weston for whiskey, stars, and cigars on Wednesday, September 25th. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall. Enjoy fine whiskey, a good cigar, and sports talk with the WQAM on-air staff. And the Heat's Duncan Robinson. That's Goosies right there, dude. Goosies galore that Duncan Robinson is going to be there. It's free to attend.
Goosies galore.
But you need to RSVP at WQAM.com. That'll get you an invite and a complimentary cigar. You must be over 21. Drink responsibly. Come hang out with the QAM on-air staff at Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars. Wednesday, September 25th at Smoke on the Water in Weston. Presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall. Official partner, the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man. Go online at themainman.com and sponsored by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Visit cohenandjudah.com to see partner reviews. What do we have today, Jennifer?
Well, to switch things up, we have Pelle Larsson. He was a Heat fan as a child.
He was?
Yep. And he shared a photo of himself on Instagram. Would you like to see?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Leroy, you're muted.
Okay, you're good.
It wasn't me.
Oh, well, don't worry about it, dude. A young Pelle Larsson with Grandma Pelle, Papa Pelle, Mama Pelle, and Big Bro Pelle.
Big Bro is big. Goodness.
And he has a Heat shirt on, and where I am assuming is Sweden. That's Goosies right there. I mean, that's exciting. Reminds me of a young Tyler Herro who was in the Shaquille O'Neal Heat jersey when he was drafted to the Miami Heat. They shared that photo. So that's Goosies for me. Swedish swish, ready to go in just a couple weeks. Leroy, you got the Goosies?
Yeah, I got the Goosies. I like it. It's pretty cool when you get to play for a team that you rooted for. Right?
That is cool.
It's just cool because a lot of times you don't have that choice. So yeah, it's cool. I got the Goosies.
JFig?
I definitely agree. It's great to see someone come full circle and actually play for the team that you were a big fan of. So that is Goosies.
Dan Day?
Every kid's dream.
Goosies!
Now, who do you think was his favorite player growing up? Justice Winslow?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
You think he was on
Mario
Heat?
Chalmers?
You think he was on Heat Twitter fighting?
No. I would say it would be somebody more his body type, right? Like I remember when I was a kid, I was a Gale Sayers fan. Then when I realized that there ain't no way in hell in my lifetime I'm gonna run like Gale Sayers, then I picked somebody else like Earl Campbell or
you kind of go for someone that you relate to.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying a Wayne Ellington?
No.
Why not?
How about a Kevin Love? But he wasn't with the Heat. How about I know you don't want to hear this. Bob, what's his name? Who's the guy I did the McBob?
Hey, can I just say something? Let me just say something right now. You mentioned two intangibles who are not his body type at all. They're both tall. They're both forwards.
Similar.
Nope.
Why not?
You just intangible them. You put him in intangible. And you want to know something? I'm just going to say this. Udonis Haslam, you did this too with him because you said he was the next Dan Marley. And why is he the next Dan Marley?
Who said? Oh, UD said it.
Yeah, UD said
it. Okay. So we're on the same page. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, dude.
That's all I wanted to
Why
say.
are you on that page?
Well, look, Pelle Larsson can't say I'm going to come into the league and be Shaq.
I didn't say that. You're the one who made him a 6 out of the beard.
So why? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You guys are very quibbly today.
No,
What's
let me
wrong
tell
with
you why. Let me tell you why. Because I'm trying to pick guys that he's similar to so people can get the reference. And he's just going the opposite so he doesn't seem like he's doing that.
Oh no.
Are you trying to make better after your
Pelle
previous
Larsson
segment?
is not built like Wayne Ellington.
He's not built like Kevin Love.
Wayne Ellington didn't play forward.
Neither does Pelle. He's a guard.
So Tyler Herro.
Well, he couldn't grow up watching Tyler Herro.
That's what I'm saying.
Shane Battier.
Oh, we're in the middle there.
Okay.
Good job.
That works. That works.
But he wasn't a point guard. He wasn't a point guard. Dude, what are we doing today? Or is
You
it
guys
just
are
me?
on a whole other level today.
Is it just me? Because you have been playing like the
me?
Tobin is playing HR defense.
Okay,
like,
dude. No. Hey,
he's
I would
like
have
an hour of HR.
He's
I
playing
would-
He's playing HR defense like Bobrovsky in net. Game 7.
You spent
No,
You spent the top of this hour surprised that anyone from Japan could lead the league in stolen bases and home runs at the same time.
Yes, okay.
Even though one of the best base runners of all time is Japanese, and this guy has been a prudential home run hitter since he's walked into the major leagues.
Okay, but if you look at the top 10 seasons stolen bases, okay.
That's okay, but we could do a ratio there of how many Japanese players make the major leagues.
Right. So he's
Okay.
working on the curve because he's Japanese, not American.
Not working on any curve. He's literally doing something nobody's ever done. There's no curve
Correct.
there.
Yes, I know.
You have a curve. Like
I
just
don't
saying-
have a curve. I'm not diminishing his greatness. I just said if I throw a stat out there to you, right? And I say the first person to do it, you'll be less inclined to say it was a Japanese player. I would.
Then you come out here and you say that Pelle Larsson, 6'4", is somehow samesies as McBob, 6'10".
No, okay, I was off there. Let's pick somebody.
He's 6'1".
I'm gonna ride with UD. Dan Marley.
But why does he have to be Dan Marley? Why can't he be somebody who's not? Why does it have to be intangible for intangible?
Okay, because you're very early gonna say, you know what? Pelle Larsson reminds me of Ray Allen.
No, you have elements of his game.
It doesn't remind you of Ray Allen, though. You're gonna
No, I
say
didn't say
Dan
Ray.
Marley.
I was looking for somebody in the 2015-16 Heat range. I was like, Wayne Ellington. And you're like, nah, McBob.
Wayne Ellington.
What?
Wayne Ellington. There is nobody who's doing any type of announcing or whatever. Go, that Pelle Larsson reminds me of a young Wayne Ellington.
That is on lazy announcers who will
No,
only
it's not.
compare
They're gonna say
intangible to intangible.
reminds me of a young Dan Marley.
And why is that?
For the obvious reasons.
Why can't he be Keith Askins?
You're trying in your efforts to be so politically correct. You sound ridiculous.
How am I being politically correct?
Because you're trying to use some white guys, some black guys.
I'm
right?
just saying.
That's
why
okay.
can't-
That's
why
okay.
can't-
But guess what?
I
Guess
thought-
what? Hold on. Let's just be clear. Ain't no black dude ever been compared to a white guy. Name one. I'm just saying that's just what we do.
Kevin Durant, Larry Bird.
Tua Drew.
No chance.
What?
No chance. Kevin Durant has been. Kevin Durant has. Are you? Kevin Durant dunked more his 5 minutes into the league than Larry Bird dunked in his whole career.
Dude, nobody thinks of Kevin Durant as a dunker. Nobody. They think prettiest shot we've ever seen. This is not fair. And I'm not being political.
So let me get this straight. You think people look at Kevin Durant and it reminds them of Larry Bird?
Well, I think people need to open their minds a little bit, is what I'm saying.
I need you to open up your damn eyes.
No. Because that's going to leave me with only intangibles to compare Pelle to.
Right. That's the point. When
That's
you
not
say,
fair.
wait, when you see somebody, when you see an actor or actress or whatever, you go, oh, you know who that reminds me of? Somebody that looks similar to them.
I don't like this.
That's reality. That's fact. What are you talking about? You don't like it? When when you see somebody, you see an old friend, say, oh, you know who that reminds me of? Oh, okay.
So let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight.
Last year, say, you know what?
No,
when
no,
I
no,
see
no,
Leroy, that reminds me. You know what? Very similar to Tobin.
Let me hear me out on
No,
this.
they don't do that.
No. Okay. First, listen to me. When Jaime Jaquez last year said, you know who my favorite player is? Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
And you want to know something? Their games are very similar.
Very similar. Yes.
But you would have had him saying,
No. He said it. That's not us.
So if Pelle comes out here and he says, you know who my favorite Heat player was growing up? Wayne Ellington.
Which he's not going to say that. What is wrong with you? Like, at least, listen, if you're going to argue, make it real. Okay? That's not even believable.
You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for when Wayne Ellington is warming him up before these games because he's his coach this year. And I'm like, Leroy, look, samesies.
What is wrong with you? Like, that's not even, first of all, when we compare people, we first compare them on looks.
Yeah.
So, like,
Game is, game. Whatever happened to the term game, recognized game?
Stats don't have color.
Dan, what are you doing now?
HR. HR.
Stats don't have color, right? Guess what?
Champ.
Yeah. What are we doing? Oh my goodness! You think we're gonna be invited back for Friday?
Not a chance.
Now that I think about it, I think Pelle's known as a better defender than Wayne Ellington was. Kind of a turnstile.
Oh my goodness, you are incredible.
That's all the time we have for Goosies, no Goosies. No other topics. I apologize.
Ruined it.
Ruined it.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get some headlines here. Brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Stream it live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQM. Dolphins continue to get ready for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
And today, Leroy, some interesting stuff. This is from Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. He was asking Anthony Weaver, the mastermind of the Bob and Weave defense, about Chop Robinson. And Barry writes, in some ways, Dolphins' first-round rookie Chop Robinson's first 2 NFL games have mirrored his play at Penn State. Coaches say he's doing a job and impacting the quarterback, but the most cited statistics are modest. On one hand, Pro Football Focus says that Robinson has been Miami's second-best defender this season behind Jordan Brooks in his 40 snaps, but the numbers don't jump out. 1 solo tackle, which was for a loss, and no sacks. But Anthony Weaver says today, quote, I love how Chop is playing. From a number standpoint, production, that hasn't been there. But when you watch the tape and you see how close he is, all he can do is give energy and effort with the law of numbers and production that will come.
Can I just say this real quick?
Yes.
Sometimes the job of the defense and that front four is to speed up the clock on a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You may not get there, but your impact is felt when the quarterback makes a bad throw or throws a short pass when a guy deep was open, when it moves his eyes, when he takes off and runs. So to say he doesn't, we're all caught up in statistics like sacks and stuff like that. This is why Christian Wilkins isn't here anymore.
That's true.
And so we all need to get over that and understand that.
And with him, this was kind of the thing on him at Penn State, right? Like not a
right,
sack
that he did a lot of damage, but didn't have a lot of numbers. Part of that has to do with the fact that they would run at him.
Weaver was asked, when do you need to see numbers from Robinson? He says, yeah, but that's not on the kid alone. He has some good rushes. Sometimes he hasn't had the coverage to match and vice versa. The numbers will come as he earns more reps. I believe that those numbers will come because he plays too hard, is too talented, and takes coaching. It's inevitable. And then he was finally asked, how has he been at setting the edge in the run game? Weaver said, quote, he's been great. That's always what you worry about with a young player. What we asked to do from a technique standpoint is so much different from college. There is some reteaching that needs to occur for Chop. That has happened very quickly.
Right. So, like, again, he's been an NFL football player for 2 weeks. Are we going to, like, already question the success?
Get it together, dude.
Like, man, come on. Like, put it this way. It's the coach's job to win football games and put the guys in there that can win football games. He's playing 40 plays. So he's in the rotation. And he's a pivotal part in what they do up front. So everybody calm down on Chop Robinson. And, like, especially when you knew when you got him, he didn't have big sack numbers. Now you're going to ask him questions of why doesn't he have any sacks? Oh, man. The questioning, like, I get the questioning, but sometimes the questioning leads fans down, leads them in a direction that isn't pertinent to how good of a job he's doing.
He had that, the one that stood out to me, he had that play, and the Dolphins, the game was already, they were down 2 scores, but they're coming out of halftime. I think it was the first drive, but it was I think a 3rd and 7. And he just chased Josh Allen's ass down and made Josh Allen throw an incomplete, and they get forced a punt. So, like, you don't really get anything there, but, like,
he was impactful.
Yeah.
Do we need Spo to deliver that message? He makes impact plays. Right? Do we need Spo to say that?
Spo would call it the untrained eye.
Right. The untrained eye.
Grab his nose.
And Spo could get away with it. But in football, because you got all these things sitting around stats, right? Nobody cares.
Schmeathan says, "Will Chop Robinson record a sack before Scooby gets a bath?"
That's so messed up. Scooby's a clean boy.
Wow. Scooby's like, maybe I can get a sack. Look, he looked up.
You saw his face?
Yeah, he's like, don't. Hey, he looked at me like, don't think I can't.
He said, don't underestimate.
I can catch Geno. I'll catch him.
Oh my goodness. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I haven't thought that he's looked unimpressive early on, and I get excited every time he's out there. I'm like, oh, let's see what he can do. But he's
keep in mind
he is fast.
In order for Jalen Phillips to get a sack, there's got to be pressure from the other side. Otherwise, he'll just run out over there. So if Jalen Phillips or somebody inside gets a sack, that means everybody else is doing their job because there's nowhere to go. So do those guys not get credit for doing their job and making it, tight on the quarterback so that somebody can get a sack?
Yeah. Also a weird game to judge, dude. Like, I mean, what was that game? There was like 900, there's 3 turnovers. The Dolphins kept going for it on 4th down and failing and giving it back to the Bills. Like, I don't know. I mean,
just relax. All right. Everybody relax. Like, it's week 2. The guy been a pro for what, 2 months?
Tell you what, I you know what? Like, am I oddly relaxed for Saturday night against USF? Like, I'm trying to be not cocky, Canes fan. I'm trying to change my ways, right?
No, you here.
Oh my!
First of all,
here we go.
I'm trying to change my ways because I want to say the thing, but I'm not going to say the thing because I'm trying to give a healthy respect to USF because that's what Coach Cristobal says. Best team they've faced. They're running the holy hell out of the football. I ran for damn near 400 yards. And I just want, I'm just letting Cam lead the way. I'm going out. Let's see him go out there. Let's see this wall in front of him. Let's see him just, take all day, throw it to Restrepo, throw it to Jacoby, throw it down to Arroyo, whatever. I'm not going to say it though. I'm not saying it until I'm not saying the thing that everybody wants me to say. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing the show on Saturday night. Like going on the road. Little test before we get into conference.
I would now. You're going to a place with a team that ran for 300.
Almost 400.
Yeah. So understand they're going to try to suck the life and suck the air out of the football. So it might require a little patience from everybody. Let's not force the issue. Let's not feel like we got to go on the field and score every time. Everybody just relax.
But this guy, Leroy, this quarterback who's waltzed in here, like there's been so many false prophets. This guy's so good. And he's so cool. Like you missed that Kane swagger. This guy's so cool in the pocket. He throws it from all angles. He takes his time. He's not going to be rushed by anybody. Like the type of bravado. The Canes have skyrocketed up. They're 8 right now. I can't help but be tickled pink. 8th in the country.
Yeah. You know who's not skyrocketing?
Who? Well, listen, it's a house money season for you. A big house money season.
Nobody in Ohio cares about that, dude.
You win this week, you'll feel better.
I mean,
so far you didn't.
They won last week, and I didn't feel better because yikes. And they benched the quarterback.
Oh wow.
Yeah, now they put Orgy in.
I didn't realize you guys were in a dogfight with Arkansas State.
Yeah, because our quarterback, he likes to throw it to the other team.
Well,
now here's the problem.
Who's the new kid you're putting in there?
Orgy? Like he's okay.
That's really his name?
ORJI.
Wow. That's not going to get any college game day signs.
The college game day's not going to be there, dude. Who do they play? They play Arkansas. No, they played Arkansas State last week.
Where is it this week? Because that's the what is the best matchup this week? Where is it?
Are they going to he's going to Texas or he's going to Texas, I think.
Des?
Yeah. We're going somewhere in Texas, right?
Yep. Red River.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City.
Yep.
No, they're in Tennessee. Not bad.
They're not in Tennessee. I promise you. I just saw the flight plan. He puts his flight plan on Twitter.
Who does?
Kurt Herbstreit.
It's not. Well, he might not be on the game, but he's doing.
No,
both.
so he's doing Thursday night
in
New York.
Right.
After just doing, then he's flying to his son's high school game. Then he's going to Oklahoma. There he is, Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Oklahoma, Tennessee, not Texas. I'm in India.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, you thought that was Texas?
I thought I read fast. I thought misread Texas. I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize.
Right.
Who does Texas have this weekend? Because they've been killing it.
They're number one in the country.
Oh, they got a freebie this week.
They're number one in the country, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're number one.
Got Arch Manning.
Arch gonna get some time. Hey, let me tell you something. They cheer for Arch. They want Arch in there so bad.
They do.
But
by the way, can we get a weather update, Leroy, for the Demesman and Dover
you
Law
sure
Firm?
can.
YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the wind is hardly blowing. It looks hot as hell, stifling, humid, but I would say partly to mostly cloudy. The same type of day, right? It's probably about 90 degrees, maybe a little bit higher. The winds are barely moving 0 to 5 miles an hour. If they're going anywhere, they're coming out of the west. I would say west, northwest almost. So look for that rain. It's weird because normally it rains in the evening, but it's been raining more at night lately, which is weird. Like every night, like lightning and just miserable.
A
lot of thundering. Yeah. So, yeah, still be careful out there. I was out last night and it was a whole bunch of crashes.
Yeah, people are driving wild out here.
People driving wild.
People driving wild.
And I was driving this morning to go take my car in, and I literally saw a lady in a Tesla doing her makeup.
What was the Tesla driving for her?
Yeah. So you know what I did?
I don't know how people do that.
You know what I did? Because I know how those Teslas work. I went in front of her and I slowed down to 20 miles an hour.
Oof.
Grabbed the wheel, dummy, and then I pulled off.
Leroy, you were trying to test her?
No, I wasn't testing her.
Testing the car.
Testing the car.
That's even worse.
That's dangerous, dude.
That exactly what you did was also dangerous.
No, it's not. Why? Because she doing her makeup. She should be paying attention.
You could have caused something.
No, I couldn't have.
Trying to prove
not
a
if
point.
Not if she was driving.
JFig, the road is not a Sephora.
You were trying to prove a point.
Yes, that's right.
I'm
Tobin.
not supporting
the
her
road
doing
is not
her
a
makeup.
Sephora. You can't just be
a
look,
Sephora.
I know we're just getting the car half naked and do your makeup on your way to work.
I never said that I support her decision on doing that. I'm saying that I don't support that you were trying to test her.
Guess what? She put her hands on that damn steering wheel.
What if she didn't? That's the thing. What if she didn't?
The car would have just stopped.
Foundation.
That's what it does.
But you know, sometimes those cars are not foolproof, okay?
That's why she should have her hands on the wheel.
That's why you shouldn't have tested her either.
I feel like Leroy boxed you in.
That's
no,
why
he
you didn't
didn't.
give him more reason.
No. What if it didn't go the way that you didn't want it to?
Then people should be driving with their hands on the wheel.
Then you would have been in a car
If they would have
accident.
said, wait, could you imagine the conversation? She rear ends me, right? And then we explained to the cops. He slowed down in front of me, trying to be a jackass. Well, man, what were you? Man,
that
what
could
were you
have been
doing?
a three-person car accident.
She goes, I was going hands-free doing my makeup. How is that going to sound with a cop?
I like Leroy's explanation of the cop being, I wanted to give her obstacles.
No, it's not
exactly. I think you would get a ticket for giving her
on
obstacles.
the road
well,
in the morning with a lot of traffic. Pay attention.
Typically, if you're in lanes, if you hit from behind, usually you're the one who's at fault.
Yes, exactly.
The only way that's not the case is if there's
You would have
turn.
caused three cars.
Really?
Depends.
No. I would have caused none if she would have had her hands on the wheel.
Stop testing people, Leroy. Just mind your business and keep going.
Speed this morning.
I'm not putting that on the screen. Can you please do the read?
If you hit it from behind, Blue Chew. I would say one thing with Blue Chew, though. You don't want to crash out in the bedroom, all right? You want to have plenty of gas to go to please your partner, all right? So let me tell you a little something about Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So whether you're married, you're looking to spice things up, or you're single, you're trying to impress somebody new, you're, forget about doing makeup. You don't got to worry about taking Blue Chew. No obstacles on the road. One chew, and you're good to go. Chew it and do it, my friends. And it's online. No doctor's visits, no pharmacy lines, no weird conversations you don't want to have. Just sent right to your door in a discreet package. And I got a great deal for our listeners out there. If you guys want to try Blue Chew for free, use the promo code SHOWPONY at checkout. You use the promo code SHOWPONY at checkout. You pay just $5 for shipping, but you're getting your first month of Blue Chew for free. They even got mint flavors. So go to BlueChew.com today. Use the promo code SHOWPONY. You're getting your first month free. BlueChew.com. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
I was just checking.
Hmm?
See if I can get any action tonight.
On Prize Picks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a full slate. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I like a full slate. I don't like just trying to squeeze everything out of one game, because then you try to get the money right, you start reaching. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
I like to do that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I like to do that a lot.
And I got to tell you, they following me because the more or less on some of these quarterbacks is low. Although they seem to think Geno Smith is going to just ball out.
I mean, I can't dismiss it, man. Look, they're off to. I know they were in a dogfight last week with New England, but they got the home field advantage. Now, I do feel like the line's gone down, because I thought earlier in the week
it was 5.5, and then went down to 4.5.
Yeah,
But that's just yeah. So people still like the Dolphins. I don't know, man. Here, there's a couple of things out. Let me ask you this: are the New England Patriots better than we thought? Are the New Orleans Saints better than we thought? Or are some of these teams that are playing these teams just aren't that good?
I don't know yet. Like I just feel like it's too unsettled right now for me to be like,
Right.
that's definitive. Like that's the I think if I were to look at the standings right now, like what do I believe? What don't I believe?
You believe you got to believe Kansas City.
Buffalo's still the king of the AFC East. They
Right.
even though the Dolphins.
You still believe Kansas City.
Of course.
I
don't
don't
think
know what to make. The only thing I'd say, you got to take the Saints serious because of the division they play in.
I don't think Houston's dazzled. They've been in some scrap. Although I think, what was it? Like 13 of 16 games were like one score games last week. Like these games are also super close.
Well, and they were all low scoring.
Yeah. I'm still not I know Harbaugh, everybody was kind of like, hey, Harbaugh gets to a place, they improve immediately. That seems to be the case, but
Their quarterback's hurt.
who?
Justin Herbert.
He's hurt again?
A little bit. There's an ankle. He got a boo-boo.
Oh, man. He does get hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, we pick and choose who gets the, you know what I mean? We pick and choose what guys we going to put the injuries on, and one guy we going to say, never mind.
I mean, Minnesota, even with Sam Darnold, like 2-0, they handled the 49ers last week.
Oh, yeah, that was a shocker.
I'm
But
like,
wait, San Francisco is one of those teams that we don't even flinch. Oh no, don't worry, they'll be there.
They got some cred. They got some cred right now.
We make it the Eagles.
I mean, the Eagles got a huge matchup, because if the Eagles lose, because here's the thing, if the Eagles lose, and that's kind of tough because they're going to the Superdome. We were talking about this a little bit when you were in Cleveland, like Superdome, Seattle, and like Arrowhead. Those are probably like three best home field advantages in the league.
Arrowhead's good. Green Bay is a good one.
But like, man, Philly, if they lose off Monday Night Football, short week, everybody's already pissed at the coach. And then if they get boat raced.
Whew. I mean, but at some point, you got to give credit to New Orleans.
I know.
And not be mad at Philly.
I don't think that's going to be the story, though. I think everybody, like even the talking heads today said, is that a must win for them?
Oh, no. Week 3 must win.
Must win. Yeah. There's 2 must win. The only must win, the only person who I think has a must win this week is Baltimore. Baltimore's 0-2.
What about Cincinnati?
Yeah, if they lose
they're
to the
0-2, they're 0-2 also.
They lose to the Commanders at home Monday Night Football.
Woo!
That's tough.
Woo!
By the way, doubleheader of Monday Night Football this week.
Yeah, I know. I found it weird because here's what I heard when they were doing the Monday night promo. 21 games on Monday Night Football. It's an 18-week season. So there's going to be 3 weekends where there's 2. Unless they sometimes they play those games on Saturday and call it Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but this is I mean,
why they didn't do it the first weekend? Because they had a Thursday and Friday game.
Right. The Brazil week. That terrible field. Although Jordan Love apparently is making a big improvement. He might, they're thinking about he might play. Which is kind of surprising. People were saying he might be out for a month. He practiced yesterday. Could play. Who do they got this week?
I don't know.
They got Tennessee. Oh, man, their coach hates his quarterback.
Wait, come on. There's nothing wrong. Listen, he should have got exactly what he got. That was just terrible. Right? The coach gave the perfect amount of anger towards their quarterback, who did the same stupid thing the week before.
Yep.
He probably last week said, "Hey man, we can't look. You protect the football. You can't. It's okay to get sacked, right? In situations like that, we can still line up and play football on the next play. And then you do it again. Now you got to come with a little bit different. Because first of all, let me ask you a question. If was it Levi? Levis.
It looks like Levi's though.
If he walked right in front of the window you're sitting in, looking out in the hall, you wouldn't know who he was.
I would think I was like, is that skinny JJ Watt?
Right. Right. Because even seeing him and with the coach yelling at him, I'm still like, who's that?
Honestly, though, he probably should walk in front of this window and be like, I ruined your season last season. I'd be like, yeah, fair play to you.
The other thing is guess what? Like, just look at how some of these guys are playing.
I know.
It's not just him. Like, he has more boneheaded plays, but what do we make of this quarterback play?
It's crazy.
Right. I think you've only had in 2 weeks. So we're looking at 64 games in 2 weeks. What, 5 300-yard passers?
I don't know. I don't know who.
It hasn't been many.
They only have 5 quarterbacks who have totaled 500 or more yards.
Right.
Purdy, Stafford, Gardner Minshew, Jared Goff, Lamar, with Geno 2 yards short.
Right. So think about that. That's 250 average.
Tua stunk up the joint, and he's 8th.
That's 250. That's averaging 250. Like, yeah, man. Is Derek Carr leading the league?
No. Derek Carr's 13th. Don't forget, Kamara had 4 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's good. Healthy.
Healthy and good. Take a break. Final segment coming on up. Back after this.
Where's Tobin? Is he too busy hobnobbing?
Oh no.
They got him.
What is he doing?
Oh, there he is.
What are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Are you talking to Galen?
No, he's not here today.
Mm.
He's not here today. Don't see him. I was surprised. I was figuring it was a Galen day, but I haven't seen him.
Okay.
No, I was talking to Tyler from promotions about the Whiskey Stars event.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what I was up to. I was like hobnobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my own.
Yeah.
Can we get to an important thing?
What happened?
Please.
You didn't invent that drink, dude. I did.
No, you didn't.
Dude, I invented
the
that
last
drink.
the last time you came over my house a year ago, we were drinking that.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so.
How are you guys still on this?
Because he flashed up today on the camera when we started off. He goes, "Look,
You said it because I told him I have them in my refrigerator all the time.
I don't.
He goes, no, you don't. And I'm like, yes, I do. What are you talking about?
First of all,
look who you're talking to.
What does that mean?
I always bring the hottest and latest.
Okay, dude.
Right?
First of all, we made that lemonade in the
Such an influencer.
slushies with vodka.
Oh,
We
get
done
out of
all
here.
kind of stuff.
You didn't have that lemonade before I had that lemonade, and also
The only thing you had before me was Cider Boys. That's it.
yeah, that was a happenstance. I was stuck in Indianapolis.
Okay.
But here's the other thing. You didn't invent it because, and it's also not the same. You got the little bottles, which aren't even like, it's different when it comes out of the jug.
Can I just say this? And I know this has been a day of this, and I mean no harm. But
we've
dude,
done harm. We have done harm.
Since the beginning of time, Black folks been mixing liquor with everything.
Okay.
So
This particular public?
Dan knows. Like you go to somebody's house, you go to a black house, and they got some awkward mixture of liquor and juice and
I don't think
whatever.
this is fair. First of all, I went to a school that was very diverse at Barry University.
Really?
And
What? Europeans and white folks?
No, I would say actually there's more. I would not say like it was intangibles majority by any means, except for the golf team. That is all Sweden. Very odd. That was very odd. I was like, I would look over there and they would be like, listen, I was king of the parties down there, and we would mix, and they'd be like, intangibles. They wouldn't call us that, but the intangibles pretty good at making the drinks. And we'd use it in our stolen Gatorade coolers from the Barry softball team, and we cut loose. So I'm not gonna sit here and be told that my, just because I'm intangibles doesn't mean I don't know how to mix a drink.
I'm just telling you, that's what we do. We're very creative with our alcoholic beverages.
I understand, but I invented this, not you.
No, you
never
didn't.
heard of that.
No,
You never heard of that.
What are you talking about? Dude, I've been drinking this lemonade for years.
Get out of here, dude. I've never heard you. You always brag about the drinks you have. I've never heard you drink about the Publix pineapple strawberry lemonade. I've never heard you talk about
have.
it. Never.
I have.
And then you
Probably
tried to foist me with a look what I have. You probably went out and bought a case after I told you about
Man, I don't even have a car right now.
Okay, dude. You did over the weekend when we first talked about this.
Yesterday.
Can I just say this? He sent me a picture. Like he had found Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh,
right? Like
everybody stares at that Publix lemonade cooler stand. When you walk back, it's always behind the subs. And I'm looking, I'm like, never seen that one before. Hoink. Then I mixed it with some Tito's. What a weekend it was. I don't really remember the end of it. And I finally woke up for Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marab. I was like, whoop. I was like, oh, perfect timing, the sphere. And you're sitting here saying, like, oh, I was always on that drink. Ridiculous.
You guys.
Okay. Whatever. I'm just telling you.
Very grown-up answer.
Calm down with your creativeness. You ain't that creative.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like that's not ooh, there's a shocker. Mixing vodka with lemonade.
I'm just saying, yeah, but this particular lemonade you did not have in your arsenal.
Whiskey and lemonade's better.
See, there you go. Now I would listen. Now I'm gonna tell you about my people. It's the only, like, people say, I'm either gonna go clear or brown, and they'll say if you drink the other, it make them crazy, right? So I have people that only drink clear, whether it's vodka, Tanqueray, or whatever. Next thing you're gonna do, you tell me you invented gin and juice.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
Everybody knows that. Yeah. Everybody knows that was the Dolphins quarterback.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. People ain't even start drinking gin and juice till the song came out.
Who even like drinks gin? I thought the gin is for the old. I thought.
No. Ever since gin and juice came, wow,
dude. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I just read the last one. It took a while. It had a delayed reaction on me.
I just want to know who has gotten. Which one of you three have actively gone to the bar and within the last 5 years have asked for gin?
Oh, me for sure.
What? Maybe like once. Maybe once.
No. I quit. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I quit drinking gin in college.
I think gin's the only time. Like college was the only time I perused gin
because it was free.
Gin.
Right?
I substitute gin for vodka. There's like drinks like near my house. I go out to a bar. It's like a watermelon type mixed drink, and I'm like, "Ooh, can I get gin instead of vodka?" And it's better.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I just say this now?
Interesting.
Gin struggles playing with others, right? You know what I'm saying? Vodka get along with everybody.
Yeah.
Vodka gets along with everybody, but gin is kind of like, I would say it's the racist of all the liquors. You got a handful of drinks you can make with it. You know, gin and tonic, gin and grapefruit juice. But if you get too exotic with the gin, it just no.
It's like the DJ Khaled of a song. He's always going to stand out.
Right. That's it. But yeah, I know. Listen, growing up,
the one that stood out a lot was tequila.
No, I don't mess with tequila. No, we ain't even having that conversation. I'm scarred for life. I'm telling you, dude. I had a college experience where I burped 2 months later, and the burp was tequila. I say, you need to leave this alone.
Don't say that.
Yes, you know, y'all. Everybody know that feeling.
It's that demon.
Yes.
It was and I had the good stuff out of Tijuana with the worm and everything.
Tequila did have like a turn at some point with
some
this
people drink it. I know people drink it straight.
Yeah, well, because it became a sipping tequila, like it became a sipping liquor. It used to be like
tequila straight.
Yeah,
tequila used to be just Cuervo. You're taking shots down, and then all of a sudden somebody
tequila was a shot thing, right?
Yeah, and then everybody was
more
like,
of a shot thing.
Why don't we sip this? I'm like, what is this, a wine?
Like,
sip.
Or conversely, rum, you don't do shots of, you just sip. Or mix with Coke.
I will rarely have rum by itself.
Rum is too sugary. Too yeah.
But the point of all of this was just to tell you, you didn't invent that. Like, you know.
Ooh, I'm telling you, I had this at my house the last time you came here.
I don't think so.
I just wasn't drinking it because I gave you that nasty ass whiskey that tastes like cigarettes.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
Oh, it was so bad.
Why do they think? Why do they have to think like, hey, we're just gonna make this taste terrible? But if it costs a lot of money, people
no, because the guy was telling me, like, and can I just say this? You fancy bougie liquor drinkers or wine drinkers can kick rocks, right? Don't be twisting the glass and talking about letting it breathe and all this stuff and whatever, and sip on it, and ooh, you taste the notes and notes. We ain't playing music, we drinking. What are we doing?
The hell does that mean?
I don't know. like the ooh, can you taste it? Because I'm gonna tell you,
the notes of cherry.
I have never tasted a fruit in any whiskey that I've drank. Ever. It could have the name of the fruit on the side of the bottle, and I have never tasted it. So maybe my palate is not as welcoming as yours that you could sip on it and go, oh yeah. Or swishing the wine. And, are you drinking it or brushing your teeth with it? Let's go. Like all these fancy liquor drinkers. We ain't got time for that. I'm from New Orleans. You know what we drink? Liquor.
Yeah, but you did get shamed. Huh? You did get shamed in Las Vegas for having the crown.
There almost been a fight. We almost never went back there again.
That guy was really,
like,
he
you had notes of apple.
Guess what? Apple. Yeah, but it says apple on it, and it tastes like apple. That's why I like it. So I said, hey, can I get a crown apple on the rocks? We don't serve flavored liquor here.
Which is such a ridiculous thing. When we went there the next time, the guy was doing like like Dr. Barr, like with his swirling and his swishing and his tricks that he was doing. They fired the guy who was a grump to Leroy. I'm pretty sure that guy was.
Oh my goodness, he really shamed me for asking for crown apple at a bar.
Like no one's gonna know. The bar, first of all, you need to have like night vision goggles to be in there.
Dude, I'm telling you, it is darker than a strip club. I ain't gonna lie. It was so dark. It was dark. You couldn't see nothing.
They want you to taste the notes of the alcohol.
No. But
they
even with
the focus on that.
In the menu, you got to somebody got to pull out a flashlight just to read the menu.
Yep.
It was so dark.
The notes are one note. It's moo moo.
I'm telling you, that guy almost got the business.
Yeah.
I mean, he really shamed me for asking for Apple Crown.
Sure did.
It ain't like I asked for some Ripple.
Nope.
Apple Crown is you can have that at a bar, upscale bar.
Because you got, what do you got? You usually get that thing with the cherries in it.
Yeah, Manhattan.
You can have giant Manhattan cherries, but you can't have an apple flavored whiskey. It's a very strange bar that they have.
Right. And then the other thing is, hey, I like to have a Manhattan when I eat my steak or whatever, some whiskey, but I want it cut up a little bit, put it on the ice. Please don't bring in a martini glass. Like, what are we doing? Right? I'm like, ma'am, sir, come here. That I ain't gonna get this in my mouth.
You're only able
it's gonna
to
be
do that
all over my food, all over the people I'm sitting next to, and I'm not gonna high pinky it. Yeah. No, it comes in the look like, what are we doing?
Unless you're
the way you serve it. I say, you mind? You're charging me $20 a drink. You mind putting it in a regular glass so I can get the $20 in my mouth?
That's a show for today, everybody. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.